Hey guys, welcome to Greenbean Fiction. So in today's video we are gonna see, what if Deku had Eevee evolution quirk? Part 1. This story is Quirk Eeveevolutivo by Cap Lycanrock 24. Before starting, make sure to hit that like button, as your one like motivates me to bring more stories, and subscribe the channel if you are new so you won't miss our latest videos. Quirks. This is what was called the powers that humans began to manifest years ago, with 80% of the population having quirks while the other 20% did not. There were many types of quirks, some that allowed them to increase their strength, fly, launch energy, fire, and even some to stay young. But among those there were quirks with minds and wills of their own. Musutafu Hospital. A young woman stood with her son in front of the doctor to find out the results of her son's quirk tests. Inko Midoriya. Ink. What do you say, doctor? She saw her reviewing the results. About 3 months ago we went to another hospital and they said my son does have a quirk, but it hasn't shown any signs. She said, somewhat worried. Doctor sad face. He saw her. There's nothing to worry about, Mrs. Midoriya. Your son does have a quirk, but it seems it will take some time for it to appear. He saw the boy. It could take a year at most, so be patient. The boy nodded. Doctor sad face. She saw Inko quirks appear suddenly. There have even been reports of them appearing due to different kinds of situations, even stress. But I'm sure your son's quirk will appear soon. Ink. I see. Sighs with relief. Thank you, doctor. So they left and went on their way home. After a few minutes the doorbell rang. Inko went to open it and saw her friend Mitsuki Bakugo with her son Katsuki. Mitsuki. Hi Inko. Greeting. How did it go at the hospital? Ink. They said he has a quirk, but it seems it will take a while to appear, she said, letting them in. Mitsuki. I see. Well, all that's left is to wait. She sat next to Izuku. Be patient, Izuku. She stroked him. Izuku. Yes, I smile. I hope it's a good one like Kachan's. Katsuki. Even so, you're not going to surpass me. 1 year later, Izuku was in the kindergarten. Now it was time to eat, so she took her lunchbox and started eating. Then Katsuki approached along with other children. Katsuki. Hey Deku, I don't think you actually have a quirk. Izuku saw him. It took him a long time to wake up. Izuku. Looks down. 2 months later, Izuku's quirk still hadn't awakened during those 2 months, and although he had taken another test, the results were the same as the last time. He also began to be bullied by his friend, Katsuki, along with other children. Izuku. Stop, Kachan, he said with some tears and in a fighting stance, while behind him there was another child. Katsuki. And what will you do? Quirkless thumped his fist with his palm, releasing some smoke. Attack. He said to the other children. Izuku only became more frightened when he saw them going after him. Izuku. Basta. 9 spheres of light emerged from behind Izuku, briefly blinding Bakugo and the other children. The spheres began to take shape, then touched the ground and stopped shining, revealing Izuku. He saw the foxes. What? Child 1. By chance. Child 2. Is that his quirk? He finished the question. The foxes saw them and began to growl, frightening them. Child 1. I think we should go. He started to back away as he saw the foxes approaching them, growling. Child 2. Yes, scared. Katsuki. Tisk, you're going to pay for this, Deku. He left with the other children. Izuku watched them leave, helped the other boy behind him, who thanked him and left. Then he saw the foxes sitting in front of him. Izuku. So they're my quirk? He asked curiously. Without warning, everyone nodded. Izuku. Wow. Later in the Midoriya's apartment, Inko was in shock watching the foxes with her son. She admitted they were adorable, but she still couldn't believe they were her son's quirk. Mitsuki. At the table. Wow. Looking at the foxes, you have to admit they're adorable. Ink. Seriously, that's your quirk, Izuku? He looked at his son, who nodded. Izuku. I feel that they are connected to me in some way. He saw his mother. Ink. I see. We need to go to the doctor. Later at the hospital. Doctor. Incredible. Looking at Izuku's exams, what his daughter says is true. He saw Inko. They're connected to him, and besides, the blood of those foxes seems to have mutated. Ink. Mutate. Confused. Doctor. That is to say, those foxes will change their appearance and abilities during Izuku's growth. Izuku. Wow, doctor. Quirks with consciousness and free will have been seen, but your son's is unique, smiled. Nothing like this has ever been seen before, looked at Izuku. So what will your quirk be called? Izuku. He saw the foxes. Foxes. Eevee. They shouted with big smiles while wagging their tails. Izuku's sad face, she saw them and smiled, then looked at the doctor. They will be called Eevees. Doctor. Eevees, typed. Well, we'd like to run some more tests. Looked at Inko, to see if there are any consequences to having them so close or keeping them away from Izuku. You know, finding the weaknesses of a quirk. Ink. Sure, go ahead. After a few hours the tests ended. They had discovered that Izuku and the Eevees could be separated regardless of the distance, although only for 8 hours before they began to feel weak. They also discovered that Izuku could withstand things like electricity, fire, and even being underwater for longer than an ordinary person. He also said that although the Eevees couldn't speak as such, and Izuku also claimed that he only heard the Eevee, he somehow understood them. With the exams over, Inko and Izuku returned home. Izuku. I'm going to sleep, yawn. Ink. Sure, rest Izuku. She kissed his forehead and he went to his room with the Eevees following him. After a few minutes, she opened her son's door and saw him sleeping with the Eevees snuggled up with him. Ink. How lovely, smiled. Looked at the apartment. I think we'll need more space. I'll talk to Hisashi about moving. Several months had passed since Izuku's quirk awakened, and during that time Inko and her husband had been saving up to move to a larger house. Izuku also decided to help them by selling some figures, and to his surprise, he received a good amount of money. Ink, are you sure you sold them? He asked his son as they left the store where they sold the figures. Izuku. Yes, he nodded. I want to help you so we can move. He gave her the envelope with the money. Ink's sad face smiled. Aw, you are such a good boy. Hugged his son. Well, do you want to go get some ice cream? Izuku nodded. Later in the park, Inko was about to buy some ice cream for herself and her son when she saw the Eevees looking at the different ice creams on the poster. Ink. Do they need to eat? She thought curiously. Well, it's not a bad idea to buy a few extra. She bought 2 ice cream cones and another 9 in cups. Thank you, she said to the vendor. They sat on a bench where she opened the ice cream cups and gave them to the Eevees, who began to eat them. Some even grabbed them with their front paws. 1 year later, they had finally found their new house, so now they were packing their things to start moving. During that time, Izuku also discovered that Eevees had gender, due to the fur on their tails. There were 5 males and 4 females. I'll tell you which ones will be male and which ones female. Males: Eevee, Vaporeon, Umbreon, Leafeon, and Jolteon. Females: Sylveon, Espeon, Flareon and Glaceon. With their belongings ready for the move, they loaded them onto the truck and headed to their new home. Ink. Here it is, he said, getting out of the truck with Izuku and the Eevees. Izuku. Why Eeves? Wow, Eevee. After the workers unloaded the truck, they began to pack their belongings. Ink. And this will be your room, Izuku. I enter the room, which is the largest room in the house. Izuku. Yes, it is big, but are you sure? She looked at her mother. Ink. Don't worry, my room is still big enough. He saw it, and you need space for your friends. He smiled. Izuku's sad face, she saw the Eevees running around the room very happily. Okay, she smiled. Ink. For now, you should think about where your things will go. Remember that the Eevees will also have beds. She saw him. Masaru will come to help us with the beds later. Izuku nodded and she left. Izuku. Looked around the room. I think the bed is in that corner and the bookshelf is here. What do you think? He saw the Eevees go to a corner. Is the computer there? They shook their heads. Izuku. Their beds. They nodded. Good. Days later, Izuku was finishing his schoolwork while some Eevees were with him and others were watching television. Then one of the Eevees pointed out one of the problems. Izuku. Oh, that's wrong, she said, then corrected it. Thank you, the Eevee smiled. Then she saw those who were watching television, but especially one of the white Eevees who was watching an idol show with bright eyes. Izuku. She seems to like idol shows. After finishing his chores, he went to the Eevees and watched television with them, until at one point he fell asleep with some Eevees snuggled up to him. Ink's sad face, she arrives and sees them, she takes out a blanket and covers them up. There, she sees the white Eevee still watching TV, looks like you like it, huh? She nods, I think I have an idea. She goes to her room. The next day, Ink. Done, she said, finishing what she was knitting. Izuku. What is that? He saw his mother. Ink. Since one of the Eevees likes idols, I thought I'd make her this, she said, putting the outfit on the Eevee. What do you think, Izuku? She looks cute, Ink. What do you think, little one? She saw the Eevee start jumping for joy. I'm glad, Then she noticed the other Eevees looking at her. I'll make some for you soon too. She smiled and petted them. Izuku. Maybe someday we could go to one of those shows. She saw the Eevee waggling its tail, She saw that in her hand there were some ribbons that shone blue. She saw ribbons emerge from the Eevee's neck, and then it began to glow, briefly blinding Izuku and Inko. The glow stopped where mother and son saw. Ink. What happened? Is that the Eevee? He saw the Eevee. Izuku. Is this what the doctor meant? She saw the Eevee. Then what should I call you? They looked at each other for a few seconds, until Izuku nodded. Izuku. Sylveon, okay, smiled. Ink. Sylveon, he saw her. You're prettier now, he said, but then he noticed how tight the suit was. I guess I'll have to make it bigger. He took it off. In winter. From that day on, Sylveon has been like an older sister to the rest of the Eevees, and she also helps Izuku and Inko with some things around the house. Like cleaning hard to reach places, because thanks to its slats it can reach those places. Now Izuku was returning home after school, rubbing his hands together to warm them up a little. Izuku. It's so cold. She saw Sylveon and the Eevees. You guys seem to be handling it well, They smiled. I'm so jealous, Izuku. Good thing winter break has started. Enters the house. I'm home. Said but no one answered. I think mom hasn't gotten back from shopping yet. He left his backpack in his room, then took out a blanket to get a little warmer, then went to the living room and watched television. At one point Izuku had fallen asleep. Sylveon and the Eevee continued watching television until one Eevee saw Izuku trembling a little. She approached and climbed onto the sofa, then lay down next to Izuku and wrapped her tail around him. It began to glow, then revealed itself to be Izuku's sad face. He felt the Eevee's fur and the pleasant warmth it emanated. Z's warm Z's, he smiled. Later, Inko arrived and saw Izuku with the Eevee. When he woke up, they started thinking about what to name her, until the name, Flareon, came to them, because her fur reminded them of fire, in addition to the warmth she emanated. Izuku was on a school field trip. They had decided to go camping, of course with some heroes accompanying them. The group of heroes accompanying them were the Wild Pussycats. Mandalay, and that's how you pitch a tent, he said, finishing setting up a tent. If you need help, just tell us. The children nodded. Izuku. Okay, help me out, guys, he said to the Eevees, who nodded. So Izuku and the Eevees set up the shop. Ragdoll. Oh, not bad, little one, smiles, it looks very good. Izuku. Thank you, Miss Ragdoll. She smiled. Ragdoll. Okay, now that we've set up the tents, let's make the food, so get your utensils out. Izuku nodded and she left. Now all the children were making food. Bakugo took some of the curry they were making and threw it at Izuku, who had his back turned. Sylveon's sad face saw that. Izuku. I turned to where I saw the food and just waited for the impact, but it never came. I opened my eyes. What? Everyone saw the food being rubbed in the air surrounded by a blue aura. Izuku looked to his side and saw one of the Eevees with its eyes glowing blue. Izuku. Eevee. She saw it. It began to glow and then revealed. She threw the food right in Bakugo's face, making the other children laugh. Bakugo. Hey, he wiped his face. Girls. How cute. Looking at the Eevee. Teacher. Bakugo, if you do something like that again you'll be out of camp activities. He growled. Little girl. What will his name be now? He saw Izuku. Izuku. Oh, I don't know. Mandalay's sad face, he approached. What he did was a kind of psychic force, like an extrasensory perception. Izuku. Extrasensory perception. He saw it. Mandalay. Also known as ESP. Izuku. Espeon. She saw Sylveon and Flareon. Eon. Espeon. She said, and it wagged its tail. Espeon. Pawn smiled. At night, Izuku was already ready to sleep. Or at least he was trying to, since it was his first time sleeping somewhere other than his house. Izuku. I'd like a little light, but the flashlight's beam would illuminate the whole store and bother the others. Just then he saw the white Eevee getting up. Izuku. What's happening? She saw it approaching and it began to glow. Oh. This stopped shining to show its new appearance. Izuku. Wow. He saw how the rings on his body began to glow. Oh, thank you, that makes me feel calmer. He yawned and began to fall asleep. You're like a shadow, but a bright one. Umbreon. He fell asleep. Inko was tending the garden with the help of one of the Eevees. Curiously, it was always lying in the garden or among the flowers, of course without damaging them. In fact, he was very careful with them, even helping to water the flowers. As Inko finished pruning, she saw the Eevee begin to glow, then reveal itself too. Ink. Wow, you look like a leaf. He smiled. Leaf. Leafeon. That would be a good name. Saw Leafeon twitch its tail. Do you like it? That's great. Izuku. I'm home. I go inside the house. Ink's sad face. He went with him. Did you find everything I asked for, Izu? He looked next to his son. Ink. Did another one change too? He looked at his son. Izuku. Another one? I asked. Then look at Leafeon. Oh, I see. Ink. This change happened while he was helping me with the garden. Izuku. Well, this is the Eevee that likes to run. While we were going to the store, it started running and suddenly it got a burst of electricity, he said, and changed. I named it Jolteon. He smiled. Ink. I see. Well, this is Leafeon. Izuku nodded with a smile. It was a hot day today, and luckily they had been invited to a beach party. Izuku's sad face. I leave the gift on the table. Eevee. Eevee. He ran towards the sea. Izuku. Hey, wait. He followed him and saw him go into the sea. He really likes the sea, he said, watching him start to swim. But then he saw that it was swimming faster and faster. Izuku's sad face. He saw it begin to glow. Oh. He saw it take a great leap and then see. Izuku. Wow. He looked at it in surprise. Now it looks like a fish. I'll have to think of a new name. He thought of several names, some like Aquan, but he didn't like any of them, until he decided on Vaporeon. When the party ended, they went back home, but even though the subway had air conditioning, they were still very hot. Ink's sad face. I enter the house. It's so hot. Izuku lay down on the floor. I think I left some ice cream in the freezer. He went to the kitchen. The Eevee then approached Izuku. Izuku. He saw her. What's wrong, little one? She started blowing on his face. You want to cool me down, huh? Thanks. But then he felt the air get colder, huh? She watched as it shone, then revealed its new appearance. Izuku. How refreshing, he said, feeling the cool air emanating from him. So the mother, son, and all the other Eevees gathered around Glaceon to feel the cold air. Ink. Now all that's left is for him to change too, right? He saw the Eevee. Izuku. Yes, I wonder what it will change to. I pet Eevee. The curious thing is that over the years Eevee didn't change, although that didn't bother Izuku because thanks to him, he remembered what his classmates were like before they changed. Oradera Secondary School, Maestro. Very well, here are some papers for some races, he said, but then threw the papers away. Who are we kidding? Everyone wants to be a hero. All the students began to use their quirks. Maestro. Yes, everyone has good quirks, but they shouldn't use them inside the classroom, she said, making them stop using them. I suppose everyone already has a hero academy to go to. Bakugo. Yeah, don't mess with these extras. Maestro. So, you're going to UA, right, Bakugo? He said, surprising everyone. Bakugo. I will definitely surpass All Might. My name will be on the list of the richest. Maestro. Right, Midoriya also wants to go to UA, doesn't he? He said, leaving Bakugo blank. Izuku. Huh, yes, Eevee climbed onto his head. Girl. With all his classmates, it's very possible he'll pass the exam without any problem, he said, looking at Eevee. Chico. It seems unfair somehow. Then Bakugo launched an explosion at Izuku's desk, causing him to jump. Bakugo. How dare you stand in the same place as me, Deku? Then Eevee climbed onto the desk, growling at him. Bakugo. You wanna fight, rat? He saw Eevee. 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 The grunt. Maestro. Enough. To your seat. Bakugo. He just grunted and went to his seat, and Midoriya. Calm your classmates down, he pointed to the window. Izuku. Huh. He saw the window where his classmates were on a tree branch, growling and glaring at Bakugo. How did you get up there? Get down. They just glared at Bakugo and climbed down from the tree. Ending the class. Izuku was putting his things away when he was about to put away a notebook. Bakugo snatched it from him. Bakugo. We haven't finished talking yet. Deku looked at the notebook. Analysis of heroes for the future. Chico. It's about to start. Chico too. Yes, then he saw Izuku's classmates enter the classroom. Bakugo. Huh, he saw the Eevees. What? Do you think I can't take you on alone? Espeon. Eon. He looked him in the eyes where he began to use hypnosis. Bakugo. What? He fell asleep and Sylveon took the notebook. Izuku. Thanks guys, I take the notebook and put it away. We should leave before she wakes up. He left and the Eevees followed him. On the way home, Izuku was walking with his classmates when they passed through a tunnel, but they felt something, turned around, and realized that something was coming out of the sewers. Izuku. A villain. In the boat. A medium-sized invisibility cloak. He lunged at Izuku. Don't worry, I'll take over your body. It'll only hurt for 45 seconds. But then a beam of ice froze part of his body. In the boat. What? He saw the Eevees. I thought they were just some strange dogs. He got a flame blast in his eye from Flareon. Ah. Damn rats. Izuku struck the frozen part, allowing him to breathe. Izuku. It's like a liquid. Then Espeon, Umbreon, Psychic. Both used it to stop the villain's movement. In the boat. What? She saw Sylveon use her ribbons to pull Izuku out of her body. Izuku. Glaceon, Ice Beam. I used this by starting to freeze the villain's body. In the boat. Damn it. Then he saw someone coming out of the sewer. Not now. Scared. Well done, young man. He said, making Izuku look at him and be surprised. Now I'll take care of it. He launched himself at the villain. Texas Smash. I hit the villain, causing him to be splattered all over the tunnel by the air pressure. Izuku. Incredible. All Might. He saw it. I'm sorry you had to face that villain. I don't usually make those mistakes. I'm excited for my day off in a new place. Haha. Izuku. Asterisk an autograph. She took out her notebook. Excuse me, could I have your autograph? Of course, he said, signing. Ready. Now if you'll excuse me, I must capture that villain. Izuku. He saw the villain's remains scattered throughout the tunnel. I think we can help. He saw Espeon. Espeon, could you? She just nodded. Just watched as he used his psychic power to put the villain in a bottle. Incredible, that was fast. She saw Espeon and the others. Your pets are certainly curious. Izuku. Oh, they're not my pets, they're my quirk. Wow. I've heard of quirks that had their own consciousness, but never anything like yours, he said. Well, I have to take this guy to jail. Izuku. Okay. Oh, wait, I want to ask you a question. Saw it. My quirk took a long time to awaken, but during that time I thought of something. Can someone without a quirk be a hero? Well, the life of a hero is dangerous enough, he said. For someone without a quirk to try to be a hero, it's very unlikely they'd live long. He looked at him. You seem to have a good quirk. I think you could get into hero classes, but my answer to your question would be, no. Izuku. I see. Well, I have to go. I wish you luck getting into a hero academy, she said, taking a great leap. Izuku. Then he saw the Sylveon ribbons tied to his hand where he saw her. You're right, I shouldn't be sad, he smiled. Now I have you guys, hee hee. Izuku was jogging with his classmates until he arrived and saw Dagoba Beach. Izuku. I remember this used to be a beautiful beach, now they use it as a garbage dump. Then he saw his angry companions, but especially Vaporeon and Leafeon. Izuku. Does it bother you too? They nodded. He saw the trash and an idea occurred to him. I know, let's clean it up. The next day they started cleaning the beach. Vaporeon collected the trash that was in the sea. Umbreon and Espeon gathered the trash in one place with Psychic. Leafeon cut the larger pieces of metal with Sharp Blade. Flareon melted the metals and Glaceon cooled them so that later Sylveon, Eevee, Jolteon and Izuku could load them onto the truck. Izuku also took advantage of carrying heavy objects to exercise his body. And although it was difficult at first, they began to find their rhythm. Although they didn't realize they were being watched by a green-haired Guirlande blonde man. Back home, Izuku and his classmates fell into their beds exhausted. Izuku. I admit this is harder than I thought, but we're not going to give up, but now I want to rest. Eevee climbed on top of him. Hey, since. He fell asleep. The next day, Izuku and his classmates continued cleaning the beach, but they didn't notice someone approaching. Mayo are doing well, young man. Izuku. He saw him. All Might. What's he doing here? Surprised. A few days ago I saw you cleaning the beach with your friends, he said. I was curious if you were still doing it, so I came to see. Izuku. I see. Well, apart from cleaning the beach I also take the opportunity to train. I understand, smiles. Well, let me help you with that. Ha ha ha. Izuku. Help me. Why? He saw him. Today's heroes are behind the flashy things. He approached a refrigerator originally. Being a hero meant volunteer work, he said. Smashing the refrigerator, you will restore the horizon of this entire section. That's your first step to becoming a hero. Izuku. My first step. He saw what was left of the trash. You want to enter a hero academy, right? Izuku. Yes. I want to go to UA. It's because you went there. You're a big fan. I'm glad you agreed. That's why I brought this. Pulled out some papers. Goal. American Dream Plan is a training program to help you clean up this beach. I'm going to make you follow this in every aspect of your life. Given him the papers. Izuku's sad face. I read even sleep time is included. Frankly, it's a super difficult itinerary. Will you be able to do it? Izuku. I'll do it. That's the spirit. But then he became thin. Damn, he spat blood. Izuku. What happened to you? He shouted as his companions stared in amazement at All Might's form. After a long explanation, the months passed with Izuku and his classmates cleaning the beach. Some days Izuku cleaned alone to improve his physical condition, and other times his classmates helped him. But in one of those times he was cleaning alone. Izuku's sad face, he fell to the ground. Sylveon went to him. Hey, what's wrong? There are only 3 months left. She saw him. You won't make it. Do you want to give up? Do you want to take the easy way out and rest all day? Then she saw him moving his arms to try to crawl. Overexert yourself. Aren't you following the plan? Overexerting yourself will have the opposite effect. Don't you want to achieve it? Izuku. Of course. His companions lift him up a little, but I can't just go in alone. We must all work together. He pets Eevee. We want to be like you. We want to become the best heroes like you. Jolteon. Joel. Electrocuto a Izuku Kon. Impact Runo. All Might saw him slowly getting up. His electricity. Should I charge him? He smiled. Of course. He's not the only one training after all. They're a team that supports and takes care of each other. He became muscular and lifted Izuku completely. Why, you damn fan. I like that. But if that's the case, you really can't push things right now. But I understand your feelings and those of your team. Let this old man help you. Izuku. You're not an old man. All Might. Tired. 2 weeks before the entrance exam. Was walking to see how Izuku was doing, until she heard a scream from him and saw him on top of a large mountain of his trash along with his classmates. Hey, they really cleaned the beach. There's not a speck of dust. Seriously, seeing the totally clean beach, they finished 2 weeks ahead of schedule. More than perfect. Just then, Izuku fell from the garbage mountain, but All Might caught him. Good job, Izuku. All Might, we did it, smiled wearily, we did it. Yes, you surprised me, and your coach. He stood him up on the ground, you guys are amazing. Izuku. I feel like I'm cheating. I wish the number 1 hero would help me train. Eevee and the others stood beside him. What are you talking about? You guys did this. Your body has improved physically. He looked at Eevee and the others. Even they got stronger. He smiled. There are still 2 weeks left before the entrance exam. Get some proper rest, young Midoriya. Izuku. Yes, thank you for everything, All Might, he said as he started walking. Sad face, he watched him leave. He's an amazing young man. Maybe he could become my successor. Meanwhile, a green-haired girl watched Izuku from afar, impressed. Girl. Did he really clean the whole beach? She looked at the beach and then at Izuku. Incredible. Izuku was lying in his bed, even though there were still a few days left before the UA entrance exam. Espeon made him study a lot, so that he wouldn't fail. And that's not it. It would be so bad if she didn't hit him with her tail every time he answered something wrong. The day of the exam. Now he stood in front of UA with his classmates. Izuku sad face, breath, all right, are you ready? He looked at his companions who nodded, okay, let's go. He noticed Leafeon wasn't there. Where's Leafeon? I looked around and saw him smelling a girl's hair. I turned around and saw Leafeon. Oh, hello. Are you lost? Izuku. Leafeon. He went with him. I'm sorry, he saw the girl. Girl. Don't worry, he saw Izuku, but why did he come towards me? Izuku. I think it's because of your hair. He saw the girl's hair. He likes gardening, so it must have caught his attention. Girl. I understand, I smile. They both saw Leafeon grow some flowers, then he gave them to the girl. Oh, thank you, I'll take them. Izuku. Okay, let's go before we get late, he said, leaving with his companions. Was that the boy from the beach? She said thoughtfully. Izuku's sad face, he entered a room. Is this where the written exam is for? He asked Cetos. Smentos. Here it is, come in. Izuku. Thank you, she said, then looked at her colleagues. You all wait here, okay. They all nodded. I'll be back in a few minutes. She entered the room. With the exam finished, they went to the room where the practical exam would take place. Small p. To all applicants, welcome to my show today. Everyone say, hey. Everyone remained silent, except one. Eevee. Eevee. Izuku looked at him. Small p. That's the spirit. He said, then, I'll show you the route for the practical exam. Are you ready? Izuku's classmates just shouted, making him let out a small laugh. Small p. As stated in the application requirements, you applicants will have a 10-minute training battle after this. You can bring whatever you want. Small p. After the presentation, please proceed to the specified battle center, okay. Bakugo. So, they won't let you work with your friends, huh? He said, looking at his card. Izuku. That's right, although our exam numbers are consecutive, we were assigned to different battlefields, he said as Eevee climbed onto his head and looked at the cards. Small p. 3 different types of villains are in each battle center, earning points for each one based on their difficulty level. Small p. Your goal, dear hopefuls, is to use your quirk to earn points by immobilizing villains. Of course, attacking other applicants or any other unheroic action is strictly prohibited. After a boy with glasses asked about the 4th type of villain and Mike explained it. They all went to a fake city on the UA campus. Izuku. Impressive. Good, he looked at his companions. Remember to stay close so we can help each other defeat the villains, he said, taking a metal staff he had requested. Chico. Hey, I grab Izuku by the shoulder. You shouldn't have brought your pets here. Izuku. No, and no, They're not my pets, he said nervously. They're my quirk, although I don't like calling them that. Chico. Your quirk. Amazed. Small p. Alright, let's begin. Advertisement. Jolteon lifted Izuku onto his back and ran with the others towards the city. Small p. What's happening? There's no countdown in real fights. If you don't hurry, that guy will take all the points. Run, run, death awaits. Meanwhile, in another room, several UA teachers were watching the applicants on screens. In this practical exam, the applicants are not informed of the number of villains or their location. Did one say mouse, bear, dog? Director Nezu. Nezu. They have a time limit and must cover a large area, flushing the villains out of hiding. They possess the ability to gather information and understand the situation before anyone else. Nezu. Mobility that can be used in different circumstances, the perspicacity to remain calm in any situation, and pure combat skill. He saw Izuku destroy a robot that Glaceon froze. Those are the skills needed to maintain peace in the streets. And without the points from this test, doesn't this year's group look promising? Well, we must make sure, he said, pressing a large red button. The real test is about to begin. In the fake city, an earthquake was felt, and everyone saw. Izuku. Isn't it very big? He thought in amazement. The zero-pointer hit the ground where Izuku was covered in the kicked-up dirt. An overwhelming threat. The way people react when they see it is when they show their true nature, I thought as I watched the hopefuls run across the screen. Izuku. We have to go, he said, but noticed Eevee looking towards the robot Eevee. Then he saw a brunette girl trapped under some rubble. Izuku. I won't get there in time, but... Jolteon. Quick attack. Jolteon. Whoa, he exclaimed as he ran off at great speed, and Izuku followed him. There's no merit in defeating that artificial villain, but it creates an opportunity. Izuku. Umbreon, Espeon, Psychic on the wheels. They obeyed, halting the robot's advance with great effort. Jolteon arrived with the girl and removed some rubble so that Izuku could then arrive and help her. To shine brightly. Izuku. I discovered it during the beach cleanup and we haven't tested it yet, but Eevee and I have an energy that boosts each other's movements, if this works. I picked up the girl and saw Eevee touching Flareon with its paw. Flareon, flamethrower. Then Flareon launched his attack where everyone saw it. And rise to the surface. I smile. Everyone saw the flamethrower pierce the robot's head, causing it to explode and fall backwards. Izuku. It worked. He smiled, then put the girl down. Are you okay? Girl. Yes, thanks. Small p. Time's up. Announcement. The following night, Sylveon was watching an idol show on television. Leafeon was next to Sylveon. Umbreon and Espeon were relaxing on the sofa. Vaporeon was in the yard in a small pool next to Eevee. Jolteon was asleep and Glaceon was eating. Izuku. She called to him, seeing him looking at the cooked fish. Hey, are you okay? Izuku looked at her. Izuku. Oh, yes, I'm just a little nervous about the results. They'll arrive today or tomorrow, right? Izuku nodded. After eating, Izuku was watching television in the living room with his classmates. Izuku. I really hope I passed. Sylveon patted her on the head with her ribbon. Hehe. Sad face. He arrived with him. Izuku. He's here, he's arrived. He showed the letter. Minutes later, Izuku was in his room with his classmates while Inko waited nervously outside. Izuku sad face. Breath. Okay. Here we go, he said, opening his face and taking out a disc. He put it on the desk where it turned on. This is a projection, he said in the form of a hologram. Izuku. All might. I've had to do some paperwork that took some time, so I couldn't get in touch. Coughs. I'm sorry, the truth is, I came to this test to work in the UA. Izuku. Will All Might work at UA? Surprised. Sad face. Someone signaled for him to continue the message. What's up? I understand, okay. Young Midoriya, you passed the written exam with 100 points and the practical exam with 48 points, but that's not all. The entrance exam on the other day isn't passed with just villain points. There was a secret test with rescue points. And they're awarded by the panel of judges. It's another one of the basic skills we look for at UA. Izuku saw where his name was written and he had 60 rescue points. Midoriya Izuku, 60 points. You and your classmates passed. Izuku, this is crazy. She shed a few tears of joy. Come on, young Midoriya and Eevees. This is your hero academy. Izuku. Yes, his classmates jumped for joy. Izuku and his classmates were standing in front of UA High School. Izuku's sad face, deep breath. Okay, here we go, she said, starting to walk. Upon entering, he went in search of his classroom. Izuku room 1A. Room 1A. Here it is. He approached the door and noticed it was enormous. How enormous? Is it for people with growth quirks? He opened the door. Chiko. Don't put your feet on the desk. He said to Bakugo. Bakugo. Oh, Chiko. Don't you think it's rude to the upperclassmen at UA and the people who made the desk? Bakugo. No, which high school did you go to, you side character? He saw the boy with glasses. Chiko. I went to the Same Private Academy, my name is Iida Tenya, introduced himself. Bakugo. Same, you're a damn elite, huh? Looks like I'm having fun crushing you. Iida. Crushing you, that's cruel. Do you really want to be a hero? Then they saw Izuku. Iida. You are. Then the whole room saw Izuku. Izuku. Well, nervous. Iida. I'm from Same Private Academy, he said, approaching, but Izuku interrupted him. Izuku. I heard you. I'm Midoriya. Nice to meet you. Iida, he said, and Eevee climbed onto his head, and this is Eevee. Iida. It was a pleasure. I also apologize for my behavior during the practical exam. I saw the Eevees. I judged your classmates unfairly. Izuku. Oh, no, don't worry, I smile. By the way, they are Flareon, Vaporeon, Jolteon, Umbreon, Espeon, Leafeon, Glaceon, and Sylveon. I introduced my colleagues while pointing to each one. Girl. Oh, you're the guy from exam day. Izuku turned around and saw the girl with vines for hair. Article. I'm Abara Shiozaki, nice to meet you. She introduced herself. You're Leafeon, right? She crouched down to Leafeon's level. Thank you for the flowers. She's going to take Minetta's place. Love. Leaf. I smile. Go somewhere else if you want to play friends, he said. Izuku's classmates were startled, and then they all saw. The guy just drank some juice while the Eevees approached him and looked at him curiously. Sad face, he stood up. Well, it took 8 seconds before they were still. He took off his jacket. Time is limited. You children aren't rational. Izuku. A teacher. So this person is also a professional hero. Asterisk. Aizawa. I'm your homeroom teacher, Shota Aizawa, it's a pleasure. He introduced himself. Aizawa. It's sudden, but put these on and go to the field. He pulled a sports uniform out of his jacket. Outside in the fields. A quirk assessment test. Girl. What about the entrance ceremony? The orientation, he said. Aizawa. If they're going to become heroes, they don't have time for those pointless events, he said. UA is a school with unrestricted traditions. And the way the teachers conduct their classes. Aizawa. You've been doing this since school, haven't you? Physical tests where you're not allowed to use your quirks. He said, pulling out a small machine. Aizawa. The country uses data taken from students without utilizing their quirks. That's not rational. Well, the Ministry of Education is a nuisance. Aizawa. Midoriya, you finished first in the practical exam, right? He saw it in school. What was your best result in softball throwing? Izuku. 55 meters. Aizawa. Then, try it with your quirk. I pass him the ball. You can do whatever you want while you're in the circle. Izuku went to the marked circle. Izuku. Do I have to do it alone? Or can I get help from my classmates? Aizawa saw the Eevees sitting down. Aizawa. First by yourself, then with the help of your classmates. Izuku. Understood. Prepared. For days I've been talking about trying to use my energy to perform attacks like Eevee and the others. I hope I can do it. Took a deep breath and concentrated. Everyone watched as a large black sphere formed in Izuku's hand until it was slightly larger than a soccer ball, shadow ball, in case you didn't know. Izuku. Go. He threw the sphere. Everyone saw him fly off at great speed until he fell. Aizawa. Know your maximum first, it's the most rational way to establish a hero's base. He showed the scoreboard where it said, 780 meters. All. Rubio. 780 meters. Are you serious? Pink girl. What is that? It looks fun. Danger. We can use our quirk as much as we want. Just like you'd expect from the hero course. Aizawa. Seems fun, huh? Everyone saw it. They have 3 years to become heroes. Will they maintain that attitude during that time? Well, whoever comes in last in all the tests will be judged for lacking potential and will be punished with expulsion. All. What? Aizawa. We are free to comment on the circumstances of our students. Chestnut. Will the last one be expelled? But it's only the first day. No, even if it were the first day, that's not fair. Aizawa. Natural disasters, major accidents, and troublesome villains. Calamities that cannot be predicted. Japan is rife with injustice. Aizawa. Heroes are the ones who turn things around. If you want to talk to friends, too bad he saw them. For the next 3 years, UA will throw difficult tests at you one after another. Go for it, plus ultra. Come with everything you've got. Everyone became serious. Aizawa. Okay, the demonstration is over, from here on out it's real. That's how the tests began. Now Izuku, Jolteon, and Bakugo were in the 40-meter dash. Izuku. Ready, Jolteon. He placed his hand on it. Jolteon. Wow. He expelled some electricity. Robot. On your marks, get set, go. Bakugo used his explosions, achieving a time of 4.13 seconds. Bakugo. Top that, nerd turns around but doesn't see Izuku. Robot 2.15 seconds. Izuku. I think we exaggerated the power, he said on the ground with Jolteon on top of him. Everyone saw him a little way from where the runway ended. Aizawa. I could barely see it, even the robot took a while to give its result. After several tests, they were now in the final one, which was the launch. Now Izuku had Eevee on his shoulder, ready to launch. Izuku. Remember, you just need to pass on your energy to me. Eevee nodded. Here we go. Izuku threw the ball, but nothing happened. Izuku. Huh, I'm sure I'll use it. Aizawa. I erased your quirk, he said with his eyes glowing red and his hair standing on end. Even with Eevee, you're not using all your energy. He looked at him. Izuku. Do I erase my energy? Then he saw something on his neck, those goggles. I see, he can erase the quirk of others with his quirk just by observing them. Izuku. The eraser hero. Eraser head. All. Eraser. I don't know it. M sad face watching from a hidden window. He doesn't like media attention because it hinders his work. Aizawa. From what I can see, you're not using all your energy on that black sphere. He looked at Eevee and then at the others. You're all a team, right? He looked at Izuku. Well, if that's the case, then launch as one. Izuku. He nodded. Guys, come on. They all went with him. They all touched Izuku with their paws. Izuku. While Eevee and I are the only ones who can boost each other's attacks, they also have some energy. I can sense it. Prepared. Everyone watched as a multicolored sphere appeared in Izuku's hand and grew larger and larger until it was almost as big as Izuku himself. Izuku. Eevee. Let's go. The sphere shot out and disappeared from everyone's sight. Aizawa's sad face, she saw the result and her eyes widened in surprise. Awe. Izuku. Professor Aizawa saw him, were a team. He gave a somewhat tired smile, and his classmates gave him serious looks. Aizawa's sad face, smiling, these boys. Then everyone saw the result, 1350 meters. All. What? They shouted in surprise. Everyone was amazed to see the distance displayed on the machine. Then they saw Izuku and the Eevees stumble a little. Izuku. We don't usually use that much energy. I feel tired. It was with the others. Article. Are you alright? You look tired, just like your companions. He saw RL and the Eevees. Izuku. We're fine, it's just that we don't usually use that much energy, he said. Aizawa. Okay, Let's continue with the tests, he told the students. At the end of the tests, Aizawa. Okay, I'll give you the results quickly. The total is the score they got in each test. It's a waste of time listing them individually, so I'll show you all the results at once. He pressed a button on a remote control he held in his hand, and a hologram appeared showing the students' positions. Izuku looked up his name, and came in 5th place. Izuku's sad face, sigh of relief, I did it, his teammates jumped for joy. And in last place was Toru Hagakure. Hagakure. No, Aizawa. By the way, I was lying about the expulsion, she said, leaving everyone speechless. It was a rational disappointment that they had to use their quirks to the limit. All. What? Eevee Eon. Yaoyorozu. Of course it was a lie, it was obvious if you thought about it. Aizawa. There are brochures with the curriculum and such in the classroom, when you return, look at them. She said, leaving. Meanwhile, elsewhere. Aizawa-kun, you liar, he saw it. Aizawa. All Might, were you watching? He saw it, do you have that much free time? Did you say, a rational disappointment? April Fool's Day was last week, you punished a class of freshmen from last year with expulsion. You remove those who are potential without hesitation. For a man like that to go back on his word, it must be because you also felt the potential of that boy and his, Eevees, right? Aizawa. 2. It seems you're supporting them a little. Is that how a teacher is supposed to act? He started walking, their potential wasn't 0, that's all. I'll always get rid of those without potential. There's nothing cruel about cutting a dream short. He left. You're kind in your own way, huh, Aizawa? He watched him leave but, really, we don't get along. At departure time, Izuku and his classmates were walking until Iida stopped them. Iida. Are you feeling better now? He saw it. Izuku. Yes, after resting and eating a little we already feel better. Iida. I see, but, I was really deceived by Aizawa-sensei. I always thought, this is the best of the best, and all that. I didn't think a teacher would give us courage with a lie. Izuku. I thought it was scary, but it's very serious, I thought, looking at Iida. Uraraka. Hey, you two. Are you going to the station? Wait for us, I shout as I arrive with them along with Abara. Iida. You're the Infinity Girl, and Shiozaki if I'm not mistaken, she said, looking at Abara who nodded. Uraraka. I'm Uraraka Ochako. You're Iida Tenya, and you're Midoriya, right? Izuku. Yes, he agreed, a pleasure. Uraraka. And who are they? He saw the Eevees. Izuku. Oh, they are Eevee, Flareon, Jolteon, Vaporeon, Umbreon, Espeon, Leafeon, Glaceon, and Sylveon, she said, pointing to each one in order. Uraraka. They're your quirk, right? Izuku nodded, how cute. He crouched down and petted Eevee. 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 Wagging tail. Article. They really are, I'd pet Leafeon. Love. Leaf smiled. So they all went to the station. The next day, in the morning they had English classes with present Mike. Small p. Which of these English sentences is wrong? He looked at the students. Some. That's normal. Asterisk. Small p. Everyone, cheer up. Let the party begin. Izuku. The relative pronoun is in the wrong place in the 4th asterisk, I thought, looking at the sentences on the board. Espeon sad face, I lift my paw. Small p. Yes, Espeon. Espeon tapped the ground 4 times, number 4. Correct. Then they had lunch, and in the afternoon, they had hero training. They. Kaminari. All Might. Kirishima. Incredible, he really is a teacher. Tsuyu. That suit is from the Silver Age, right? Hiro. Ojiro. His style is so different, I can't stand it, he said in amazement. I will be giving basic hero training, so it will be a different way of learning the basics of being one. You must take the best units. Let's get straight to the point, this is what they'll be doing today, combat training. Bakugo. Training, excited. Izuku. Fighting. And that's what these are for. Several briefcases appeared from the wall, suits based on the record of their peculiarities. After changing, go to the testing area. All. And. Later at the testing ground. They say that people make men, young men and young women, realize that from now on you are heroes. He saw them. Okay, shall we begin? Uraraka. Wait, Midoriya is missing. Izuku. I'm sorry I'm late, he said as he arrived with them. Everyone saw it. They also saw that he had a kind of backpack container that also had some kind of ducts cables connected to his hands. In addition, he had the heads of his companions drawn on his shoulders and Eevees on his chest. Izuku. I had to help the others put on their suits. The Eevees arrived and everyone saw their outfits. Mine. How cute. Shout of tenderness. Suyu. Although it seems the others didn't want something so flashy, Hero. He said this after seeing that Eevee, Flareon, and Vaporeon only had a kind of vest and boots on their legs. I also couldn't find good images. Article. And what's that, backpack? He saw Izuku. Izuku. Oh, it's a support team, he said. I don't usually use attacks like the others, so this will help me improve my attacks, besides. Glaceon. She approached Izuku's backpack, where everyone saw that she touched right on a drawing of a footprint. Everyone saw how the energy of the backpack turned a light blue color. Izuku. Since she touched the container, I can now use my energy and perform ice attacks, he said, blowing a little icy air from his hands, although it's only momentary until I learn to do it myself. Iida. I see, how incredible. Now, it's time for the training match. Iida. Sensei. I raise my hand, this is the entrance exam battle center. So, will we have urban battles again? No, we'll go 2 steps further. Most of the time, fighting villains takes place outside, but if you look at the total numbers, some truly awful villains appear inside buildings, everyone saw it. Imprisonment, house arrests, so many behind the scenes. In this society of heroes, the villains cleverly hide in the shadows. For this class, they will be divided into villains and heroes and will fight internal 2 vs 2 battles. Suyu. Without basic training. Hero. This is a real battle to understand the basics. After an explanation of the training. With the equipment ready. The first teams to fight are. He took some balls out of the box. D and A. Team A will be the heroes and Team D will be the villains. Everyone else, head to the security room. All. And. Young Midoriya. Izuku saw him. In order for the fights to be somewhat fair, you can only use one of your teammates. Izuku. I understand. He saw the Eevees. Let's see. Vaporeon, are you coming with us? It nodded and went to Izuku's side. The rest of you go to the surveillance room and behave yourselves. Everyone nodded and went with the others. Everyone went to their positions. Article. Do you have a plan? He saw Izuku. Izuku. It's certain that Bakugo will come after me. He saw the building plans and then a window. Vaporeon and I will distract him while you go for the bomb. When we're done with him, we'll come to you. Article. Okay. You can begin. He said. Izuku, Abara, and Vaporeon made it to the 3rd floor thanks to Abara's quirk. They began walking cautiously, until Bakugo appeared around a corner. Luckily, they managed to dodge the explosion in time. Izuku. Are they okay? Article. Yes, thank you. Vaporeon nodded. Bakugo. Don't dodge it, Deku. He lunged at him again, but he hadn't counted on him ducking and. Izuku. Vaporeon, Hydro Pump. Vaporon. Vap. Everyone saw Bakugo being dragged by the attack until he crashed into the wall. Izuku. Vaporeon will need some time to perform another attack like that. Shiozaki, go for the bomb. Article. If he left. Bakugo. Damn it, he was going to lunge at Izuku, but. What? I can't use my explosions. Izuku. Your quirk creates nitroglycerin in your sweat to power explosions, but while you're wet, Bakugo noticed, you can't use your explosions. Then Izuku launched an ice beam from his hands, freezing Bakugo's body except for his head. Bakugo. Thank you, grunt. Izuku. We must help Abara, he said to Vaporeon as they started running. The others just saw Bakugo moving frantically trying to break the ice, and the ice on his arm cracked. Meanwhile, Abara was trying to trap Iida with her vines, but he dodged them. Izuku arrived and saw them heading towards the bomb. "Iida, you won't," he said as he ran and pushed Izuku. Izuku stood up, but then the four of them felt a tremor in the building. A huge explosion erupted from several floors below, forcing them to take cover. Then Bakugo appeared. "Bakugo, you're going to pay for that, you damn nerd," he said, raising his other arm and preparing to use his other grenade. "Izuku, is something like this allowed?" He stood up with difficulty. "Bakugo, come on, aren't you going to do another one of your combo attacks?" he said mockingly. Izuku smiles. "I think so, Vaporeon, Aqua Jet." Vaporeon was covered in water, and it was against Bakugo and Iida that they could barely dodge, but suddenly one of their hands got trapped in ice. Everyone saw Izuku freezing the Aqua Jet. I take advantage of the distraction and freeze the Aqua Jet, managing to trap my opponent's hands. Izuku Shiozaki, she saw her. Article. Yes, I use my vines and completely trap Bakugo and Iida. Vaporeon stopped using Aqua Jet and fell on top of the fake bomb. Iida. The weapon. He saw Vaporeon touching the weapon. Heroes, the hero team wins. Announcement, and the Eevees jumped for joy. After removing Iida and Bakugo's arms that were trapped inside the ice, and removing Abara's vines, they all returned to the others in the observation room. Afterwards they watched the other matches and continued with the classes. The next day, Izuku and the Eevees were being surrounded by reporters. "Reporter, what are All Might's classes like?" I hold the microphone closer to Izuku. Izuku. Well, they're very interesting, he said somewhat nervously. But if you'll excuse me, I have to go to class now." Then Umbreon and Espeon took a few steps forward where the reporters watched them curiously. Both of their eyes glowed, and then the reporters were moved by a psychic force, clearing the way. Reporters. Izuku. I'm sorry. Come on guys, he said as he ran towards the academy, and the Eevees followed him. After other students were also harassed by reporters and one tried to enter, the UA barrier barred the reporters from entering. In classroom 1A, Aizawa. "Good work in yesterday's training. I saw the video and the results," he said. "Midoriya." Izuku saw it. "That was a good move you made with Vaporeon, well done." Izuku. "Thank you, Aizawa." "Okay, let's begin with the classes. I'm sorry to tell you this so late, but today, everyone tensed up. All another special test. Aizawa. They will decide on the class president. It's a normal school activity. They thought with relief. Kirishima. I want to be class president. Elect me. Kaminari. Me too. Sick. Me too. I raise my hand. Aoyama. It's a job from you. Mine. I'll be the leader," she said excitedly. So everyone started shouting about wanting to be president. Iida. Silence, please. Everyone fell silent and looked at him. It is a job with the serious responsibility of leading others. It is not a job that everyone wants to do. It is a calling that requires the trust of everyone around him. Iida. If we want to use democracy to choose a true leader, then we must have an election to choose him. Your hand is at the top. They saw him with his hand raised. Kaminari. Why do you suggest that? Tsuyu. We don't know each other that well yet. How can we trust each other or something? Kirishima. If that's the case, and everyone votes for themselves. Iida. Don't you think that's precisely why someone who receives multiple votes might be considered the right person? What do you think, sensei? Aizawa. I don't care, as long as they decide before class ends, he said in his sleeping bag, then lay down, and Eevee climbed on top of him and lay down too. Iida. Thank you so much. After a vote, everyone was looking at the results, but Izuku noticed something. Izuku. Espeon got 7 votes. He said, looking at the board. Bakugo. Why, does he even count as a student? Zero. Well, it's better than voting for you, he saw it. Bakugo. What did you say? Girls. Well, she's pretty and intelligent, they thought, looking away. Iida. 0 votes. I knew this would happen. It's what I expected from someone's call. Yaoyorozu. Did you vote for someone else? He saw Iida. Sato. But you wanted to do it too. What did you try to do, Iida? Aizawa. Although the Eevees participate in the classes, technically they aren't students since it's Midoriya's quirk. He saw Espeon. Sorry, you can't be the president. Espeon nodded. Article. So then, he looked at the blackboard. Aizawa. The president will be Midoriya and the vice president will be Yaoyorozu, she said so that the aforementioned were in front of everyone. Izuku. Really? He said somewhat nervously and Eevee climbed onto his head. Eevee. Eevee. I pat Izuku's head with my paw. Yaoyorozu. How cute, I thought, looking at Eevee on Izuku's head. In the cafeteria, everyone was eating. Uraraka. This rice is delicious, she said, eating. Izuku. Although I was elected class president, I don't know if I'm qualified for it, he said while eating. Article. You'll do well, he saw it. Iida. You'll be fine, he said. Your courage and determination in critical moments will make them follow you. Besides, you have your teammates. He saw the Eevees eating. That's why I voted for you. Izuku. Was it you? He saw it. Uraraka. But didn't you want to be president too, Iida? I mean, you wear glasses and everything. Iida. Wanting to be someone and being suitable for it are different things. I merely did what I judged to be right. Izuku. Abara y Uraraka. Merely. Izuku. You don't usually use that word. Iida. Oh, that's it. Uraraka. I've been thinking about it. Are you a rich kid, Iida? He saw him. Iida. Rich. I've tried to change the way I speak because I don't want to be called that. Then he felt Izuku and Uraraka's gaze. Iida's sad face sighs. Yes, my family has been heroes for generations. Izuku y Uraraka. Really? Awesome. Iida. Don't they know the turbo hero, Ingenium? Izuku. Of course. Wait. Iida. I smile. He's my older brother. Article. Incredible. Then Jolteon stood before Iida with shining eyes. Jolteon. Ho ho. I'm emitting some electricity. Iida. What's going on? He saw Jolteon. Izuku. Not here, Jolteon. I'll carry it. Then Jolteon released electricity, leaving the three surprised. Article. Are you okay? He saw Izuku, who had been hit by the electricity. Izuku. Yes, I'm fine. She adjusted her hair. Uraraka. What was that? Izuku. Jolteon is a big fan of Ingenium, and sometimes he releases electricity when he's very happy, she said, stroking Jolteon's head. Iida. I understand, he's a hero who honors the rules and leads people. I set myself the goal of being a hero because I want to be like my brother, he said. Izuku. Well, Jolteon is a fan of his because of his speed, he thought with a drop of sweat on his brow. Iida. Then I'll ask him for an autograph for you, Jolteon. He saw him. He smiled and released electricity again, and Izuku received it so that it wouldn't reach the others. Uraraka. Now that I see it, despite looking different, they do resemble each other in some ways. He saw Eevee and the others. Izuku. Well, actually, everyone used to look like Eevee. Article. Really? He saw it. Izuku's sad face nodded. Everyone started to change as I grew up. Now that I think about it, everyone liked something related to their elements or something like that. Izuku. Sylveon likes idols, but at the same time she looks magical, like she's a fairy. Jolteon likes speed, so she wanted to be fast as lightning. Flareon didn't like me being cold, so she warmed me up, and the opposite with Glaceon. She saw the aforementioned ones. Izuku. Espeon helped me with my homework so I wouldn't fail, that's why he's so smart. Uraraka. The power of the mind. Izuku nodded. Izuku. Umbreon gave me a light when I was afraid to sleep during a camping trip. Leafeon likes plants and helped my mom in the garden, and Vaporeon really liked to swim. Iida. Wow, but Eevee didn't change. She saw the one mentioned. Izuku. And I don't think he will. He looked at his classmates, but he reminds me of how everyone used to be and how we started our journey to becoming heroes. He smiled. Everyone smiled at that, but then they heard an alarm. Izuku. An alarm. Level 3 security breach. All students evacuate immediately. Iida. What does level 3 security mean? I asked the boy next to me. Chico. That means someone's entered the school grounds. I haven't seen anything like this in the 3 years I've been here. You should hurry too. She left. A few minutes later, everyone was in the hallways, but they were completely packed with people. Uraraka. Why so suddenly? She said, being squeezed by the crowd. Iida. Just as expected from the best of the best. Everyone reacts quickly to a crisis. Izuku. They're so fast they cause panic. Then I notice Eevee, Vaporeon, Flareon, and Glaceon being carried by the crowd. Izuku's sad face. Umbreon clung to his shoulders. Guys. He saw his companions being carried away by the people. Sylveon managed to get out of the crowd and saw Aizawa and P-Mike talking to reporters through the window. Sylveon. Vion. She approached Izuku as best she could. Sylveon. Izuku. The media. She saw Sylveon. I see. Uraraka. Make Iida float. Iida. Take Sylveon and stand in front of the people. Iida is angry. Huh. They understood, and Uraraka made Iida float, and he took Sylveon in his arms and jumped. Sylveon used her ribbons to get to the front of the people. Izuku. Cover your ears, he told Uraraka and Abara, who did as he asked. Sylveon, captivating voice. Sylveon. Sylveon. Everyone froze and covered their ears. Sylveon stopped and looked at Iida. Iida. My turn everyone, everything's fine. People saw it, it's just the media. There's no need to panic, everything's okay. This is UA, you should act like the best of the best. People calmed down and returned to their activities. In room 1A, Yaoyorozu. Begin, class president. He looked at Izuku. Izuku. Okay, let's decide, the other class officers, but first, can I say something? I think Tenya Iida should be the class president. Izuku. Thanks to his help we were able to calm people down in the hallways, so I think he would make a better class president. Kirishima. I agree. Iida saw it. Midoriya said it. Iida was a great help in the cafeteria today. Kaminari. Yes, and he's the type you see on emergency exit signs, right? Aizawa. They're wasting time. He saw Izuku trembling. I don't care what you do, just do it quickly. Iida's sad face. He stood up. If the class president nominates me, there's no other option. From today on, Iida Tenya promises to do my best with the duties of class president. He said, then looked at Sylveon. Although, if possible, I would also like Sylveon's help with this. Sylveon. Syl stretched out one of her ribbons and gave Iida a handshake. Later, Aizawa. Today, for basic hero training, there will be a class with 3 instructors. All Might, myself, and 1 other person. Zero. Excuse me, what should we do? Aizawa's sad face. He pulled out a card that said, rescue, disasters, catastrophes, and all that. It'll be rescue training. Everyone was thrilled. Aizawa. Listen, I'm not finished yet. Everyone fell silent and looked at him. You can decide whether to use your suits or not this time, because your suits will probably limit your abilities. The briefcases came out of the wall. The training will be on campus, so we'll go by bus, that's all. Get ready. He left. Everyone was already dressed in their suits and waiting for the bus. Iida's sad face. He blew a whistle. Class 1A, assemble. Form 2 lines based on your number and enter in an orderly fashion. He said as Sylveon signaled for them to enter the bus. Izuku. Iida goes full speed ahead, he thought. Already on the bus and heading to USJ. Iida. I didn't know it was this type of bus, he said, noticing that the seats were against the walls. Mine. There's nothing to be done, hee. Suyu. I say what comes to mind. Midoriya. He saw it. Izuku. Yes, Asui. She saw her. Suyu. Call me Suyu. Izuku. Good, Suyu. Your quirk is certainly curious, he said, looking at the Eevees resting on the ground and others in seats. Izuku. Do you think so? She said, holding a sleeping Eevee in her arms. Kirishima. It's true, having 9 companions is great, and you can use attacks of different elements. He said, my hardening is very useful. He activated his quirk on his arm, but unfortunately, it's not very flashy. Izuku. I think it's great. It's a quirk worthy of a professional. Kirishima. Professional. But you also have to think about popularity. I deactivate his quirk. Aoyama. My naval laser is eye-catching, professional, and powerful. Mine. But then you always get a stomachache. Kirishima. Well, but in terms of strength and visual appeal, Bakugo and Todoroki win, right? Tsuyu. But Bakugo is always angry, I don't think he's popular, Hiro. Bakugo. What the hell? Face me, Tsuyu. Do you see it? Eevee's sad face, he woke up and yawned, I'm going. Mine. You woke up little Bakugo, she glared at him. Bakugo. As if I cared. A water bottle hit him on the head, ah. Everyone saw Espeon looking away. Kaminari. Even she knows your personality is garbage, she said, teasing Bakugo. They started arguing and Iida tried to stop them. Yaoyorozu. What a vulgar conversation. Uraraka. But I like these things, she said playfully. Aizawa. We're here, stop playing around. All. Yes sir. At the entrance of the facility. Guys, I was waiting for you. Izuku. It's the space hero, 13. The hero who has saved thousands of people. Uraraka. I love 13. She said excitedly. Pass. Let's go in without delay. They all went in and looked at the place in amazement. Pass. A shipwreck, an earthquake, a fire, a gale, etc. It's a training ground I built. I call it the Japan Drill Unit. Or USJ for short. Aizawa's sad face approached 13. Where's All Might? Pass. Well, she approached him, it seems he worked too much on the way and ran out of time, he's resting now, she whispered. Aizawa. It's the height of irrationality. Well, we're taking precautions just in case. There's nothing we can do. Shall we begin? Pass. Well, before we begin, let me tell you one or two things, or three, or 4, 5, 6, 7. All. It's increasing. Pass. I'm sure you know my quirk, black hole. I can attract anything and turn it to dust. Izuku. You used that gift to save people from all kinds of disasters, didn't you? Pass. Yes, but it's a power that can easily kill. Some of you have quirks like that, don't you? Everyone paid attention. Pass. With superhumans, quirks are certified and strictly regulated, so it might not seem like a problem. However, don't forget that many gifts can be deadly with a single misstep. Pass. With Aizawa's test, they learned about their hidden powers, and with All Might's training, they experienced the danger of using their powers against others. This class is a new beginning. They will learn to use their quirks to save people. Pass. They don't have the power to harm others. I hope you understand that you should help others. That's all, thank you for listening. Everyone applauded. Aizawa. Okay, then. The lights in the place went out, drawing everyone's attention. Where the water fountain was, a purple portal appeared, catching Aizawa's attention when he saw someone come out of the portal. Aizawa. Group together and don't move. 13. Protect the students. Kirishima. What's happening? Everyone saw people coming out of the portal. Kirishima. Did the lesson start without warning, like the exam? Aizawa. Don't move, he told the students as he put on his glasses, those are villains. Everyone got scared. 13 and Eraserhead. The teacher schedule we received. Aizawa was the intrusion the other day, the work of these scumbags. Question mark. 2. Where is he? I went to the trouble of gathering this whole crowd. All Might, symbol of peace. I can't believe he's not here, said a man with a hand on his face. I wonder if he'll come if we kill these children. Kirishima. What, villains? You can't enter the hero school. Yaoyorozu. Professor, what about the intruder sensors? Pass. We have them, of course, but Todoroki. Did they appear only here or throughout the entire school? Either way, if the sensors aren't responding, it means they have someone with a quirk for it. Todoroki. An isolated area of the main premises where we would give classes. They are not as stupid as they seem. They planned this surprise attack with some objective in mind. Aizawa. 13. The evacuation begins. Contact the school. The villains countered the sensors. Someone might be able to reserve radio wave powers. I'll leave it to you, 13. He said he was going to launch an attack against the villains. They all just watched as he fought the villains. Izuku. Professor Aizawa is amazing, even though he's a disadvantage. Iida. It's not time for analysis. Move. He saw it. They all headed for the exit, but the mist-like figure appeared in front of them. I won't leave you. Everyone saw it. Delighted to meet you. We are the League of Villains. It may be presumptuous, but we have invited ourselves to the home of heroes, UA High School, so that All Might, the symbol of peace, can take his last breath. I thought All Might would be here. Has anything changed? Well, it's neither here nor there, he said, extending his body. This is the role I must play. Hiroshima and Bakugo charged at him, and Bakugo unleashed an explosion. Hiroshima, did you think we could defeat you? That's dangerous, he said through the smoke. That's right, even though they're students, they're excellent golden eggs. Pass. No, back off. My job is to scatter them and torture them to death. Iida. Guys. In the shipwreck zone, a portal appeared from which Izuku emerged and fell into the water. Izuku. A distortion. Is that his quirk? He started swimming. Do they want to kill All Might? What the hell is going on? Asterisk. Then he saw a shark-like villain approaching him. Izuku prepared himself, but before the villain could reach him, something invisible struck him. Villain. Ah, what was that? The invisible thing struck him again repeatedly. Izuku. That's it, Vaporeon, he thought with a smile. Vaporeon became visible and knocked out the villain, went to Izuku and he grabbed its leg. Tsuyu Midoriya. He was holding Abara's hand. Izuku pointed upwards so that Tsuyu would understand. The four of them jumped out of the water and landed in the boat. Izuku. Are you alright, Shiozaki? He saw her cough. Article. Yes, I'm fine. Vaporeon helped her up. Tsuyu. We're in a bad situation, Kiro. Izuku. Yes, what the villain said earlier. He remembered what the guy from the mist said. They knew UA's schedule. If you think about it, they probably planned the intrusion the other day to get information. They were waiting to attack, like Todoroki said. Article. They said they wanted to kill All Might. Tsuyu. They wouldn't have come without a plan. They must have a method to kill him. I wonder if we'll hold out until All Might arrives. Hero. Then the four of them saw several villains surrounding the ship. Izuku. Then we'll have to fight, he said seriously. In the collapsed zone, Todoroki froze several villains. Todoroki. It's pathetic to lose to just one kid. Come on, they're adults, aren't they? Hiroshima, Bakugo, and Jolteon were fighting against some villains inside a building in the ruins area. Bakugo. We don't usually get along, but it seems we have to fight together. He saw Jolteon nodding. He gave a small jump. Jolteon. Jolteon. Some villains ended up electrocuted. In the snowy area, the villains were looking confused at Glaceon, who was sitting on a snowdrift. Villain. Is that a dog? I thought they'd send those kids here, not some stupid dog. Then they saw Glaceon frown. She stood up and breathed, feeling the cold of the place. Glaceon. Sion. A blizzard froze the villains except for their heads. Glaceon. Glaceon smiled smugly. In the mountain area, there were Yaoyorozu, Jiro, Kaminari and Sylveon. Yaoyorozu. Sylveon. He saw her taking a few steps forward. Villain. Ha, what a cute kitty, but it saw Sylveon jump. Everyone saw her and swore they saw the moon behind her. Some villains were sent flying by the impact of the pink sphere. Sick. Great. He saw Sylveon land on her feet. Ojiro and Flareon were in the fire zone. Flareon. Florida Flareon, Voa Ojiro. Ojiro. I'm afraid there's no time to play, he said, looking at her, but she absorbed the nearby fire with her mouth. I understand, she attacks. Flareon leapt to unleash a burst of flames on the villains. In the blizzard zone, Tokiyami and Koda were surrounded by villains, but then they heard footsteps and saw a dark alley leading to. Villain. What is that? But a black beam knocked him down, knocking him out and attracting the attention of the other villains. At the entrance were the other students along with 13, Espeon, Leafeon, and Eevee. And Aizawa was still fighting against the villains. At the entrance of the USJ, Iida. Shoji, is everyone here? He saw the aforementioned creating several eyes and ears. Shoji. They're all scattered, but they're in the building. They all sighed with relief, then looked at Kurogiri. Zero. Physical blows don't affect him and he creates portals. His quirk is very annoying. Pass. Delegate. Iida saw her. I'm entrusting you with this task. Go to the school and report what's happening here. The alarms aren't going off and the phones have no signal. The alarm system uses infrared. Pass. Even if Eraserhead erases these people's quirks, they still won't work. That means they have someone with an interference quirk who hid when they arrived. You'd be faster if you ran to find that person. Iida. I will be a disgrace as a delegate if I leave others behind. Sato. Go, emergency exit. If you can get out, there will be alarms. That's why they're fighting in here, isn't it? He said, getting into position. Zero. If you manage to get out, they won't follow you. Avoid that fog with your legs. Pass. Use your quirk to save others. Everyone got ready. Kurogiri. Even if they have no choice, are they stupid enough to tell the enemy their plan? Pass. We did it because it doesn't matter if you find out. Uses her quirk, Black Hole. In the shipwreck zone, Izuku, Tsuyu, and Abara were watching the villains in the water. Izuku. Is it just me, or are they assuming we'll fight in the water? Tsuyu. Do you mean they knew this place before meeting? Izuku. Yes, for having gathered so much information, something's strange. They brought you here, Tsuyu. Kiro. He saw it. Izuku. I mean, Tsu brought you and Vaporeon to the shipwreck zone. I mean, the villains don't know what our quirks are. Tsuyu. Kiro. That's right, if they knew I was a frog, they would have sent me to the fire zone. Izuku. And if they knew about Vaporeon, they wouldn't have brought it to an area that's its territory. They probably separated us because they don't know our quirks and they're relying on their superior numbers. We're fewer in number and inexperienced. Our only advantage is that our opponents don't know what our abilities are. Izuku. They're not trying to get on board, which reinforces my hypothesis. But it also means they're not underestimating us. But then a sudden surge of water cut the ship in half. Villain. I'm getting impatient. Let's get this over with. Tsuyu. What power? The ship has broken apart. Villano 2. The ship will sink in a minute. When it submerges, they will be ours. But then they saw Izuku peeking out. Izuku. Ah, what would Bakugo say? Die. The Vaporeon and he launched themselves into the water. Izuku. Lucky I ordered these. Swimmer-like fins popped out of his sneakers. Our turn, Vaporeon. Villain. Is he stupid? We have the advantage in the water, this is more. But then the water began to move. Villano 2. This is. Izuku. Whirlpool. I thought. Swimming in circles with Vaporeon. A great whirlpool appeared, sweeping the villains away. Tsuyu. Our turn. Kiro, subject to Abara. Article. Let's. Tsuyu took a great leap and Abara threw her vines towards the villains, tying them up with them. Villains. What the? Take them off. Move it. Izuku and Vaporeon jumped out of the water. Tsuyu grabbed Izuku with her tongue and he grabbed Vaporeon. Izuku. This is the downside of being just villains with water quirks. A ball of electricity shot out of his hand. Electro ball. He threw it at the villains. Villains. Ah, they were electrocuted until they lost consciousness. Meanwhile, with Yaoyorozu, Jiro, Kaminari, and Sylveon. Sick. We have to find a way to escape, he said, seeing that they were being surrounded by the villains. Kaminari. What if they give me a weapon? He saw that Momo and Jiro had swords. Sick. You use electricity, right? Kaminari. Didn't you see me at training? I can only shield myself with electricity. I generate discharges, I can't control them, I would hurt them. Sick. You're a boy, stop whining. He saw Sylveon. Do you think you'll have enough for multiple enemies? Sylveon thought about it for a moment, then nodded. Type. Really? He saw her. Okay, we trust you. Sylveon. Syl pointed at Kaminari with her ribbons and then covered her eyes with them. See. Kaminari. What are you trying to say? I dodge a villain's punch. Type. I think he wants you to cover your eyes, he said, and Sylveon nodded. Kaminari. Okay, he did what was asked. Sylveon stepped forward and the villain saw her. She just sat down and several hearts struck the villains. The three students saw that the villains now had hearts in their eyes and went towards Sylveon, but she unleashed a kind of wind that sent them flying. Sick. Thank you. He saw Sylveon. At the entrance, 13 continued absorbing Kurogiri. Kurogiri, Black Hole, is an awesome quirk. It catches anything and turns it to dust. 13. You dedicate yourself to rescuing people from catastrophes. As I expected, you don't have as much combat experience as the others. A portal appeared behind 13 that destroyed the back part of her suit as her quirk passed through the portal. This stopped her quirk and she fell to the ground. Mine. 13. Scared. Sato. Go, run. She saw him. Iida ran towards the entrance. Kurogiri. A sheep trying to escape from wolves. I can't allow that. A portal appeared in front of Iida. Kurogiri. If the other teachers come, we can't kill All Might. Iida stopped. Before Iida could pass through the portal, an invisible force crushed Kurogiri to the ground. Kurogiri. What? Uraraka. That is. Everyone saw Espeon, whose eyes were glowing blue. Kurogiri. I thought it was just a weird cat. Sato's sad face. I notice Espeon trembling a little. Run, Iida, she's barely holding on. Iida. Yes. He kept running. I'll have to break down the door. I hope I can manage it. He saw the automatic door. Shoji. They'll take care of the door. She threw Eevee and Leafeon towards the door. Everyone saw Eevee's tail glow and then become covered in what appeared to be metal. Eevee banged on the door, denting it, and Leafeon finished destroying it with a kind of leaf storm. Iida. Thank you. She left the building. Please hold on, she thought as she ran. Siro's sad face. I noticed something on Kurogiri, then throw my ribbon at what appeared to be Kurogiri's neck. Sato, Shoji. They both grabbed the tape to spin and throw Kurogiri away from them. Kurogiri. He'll bring reinforcements. The game is over. Mientras tanto con Izuku, Vaporeon Suyu y Ibarra. They were watching with fear and concern as their teacher was being crushed to the ground by a purple guy. Shigaraki. You can erase quirks, that's great. But it's nothing impressive against such overwhelming power. It's almost the same as not having a quirk at all. Aizawa tried to erase the purple guy's quirk, but he crushed his arm, causing him great pain. Aizawa. I'm sure he erased his quirk, so is he really that strong? As strong as All Might? The creature grabbed him by the head and slammed him to the ground. Izuku. Damn it, worried. Article. What do we do? He said as he saw Aizawa being massacred by that guy. Suyu. Annoyance. Kurogiri's sad face appeared next to Shigaraki. Tamura. Shigaraki. Tamura. Kurogiri, did you kill 13? He saw him. Kurogiri. 13 is out of action, but I couldn't disperse all the students. A kind of purple cat stopped me with psychic powers and allowed one student to escape. Tamura's sad face. He started scratching his neck. Kurogiri, you're an idiot. If you weren't the portal back, I'd already destroyed it. He stopped scratching. We won't be able to win with so many professionals. Tamura. The game is over. Wow, this is the end of the game. We're going home. Article. Did he say they're going home? Suyu. That's what I heard, Hiro, but I have a bad feeling. Izuku. It's strange that they're leaving at this point. I can't understand it. All Might will probably come. Didn't they want to kill him? They must know that UA will reinforce its security after this. They won't let this moment slip by. What are those guys planning? Asterisk. Tamura. But before we go, let's crush their pride a little. At great speed, he is already in front of Izuku, Ibara, and Suyu. Tamura. As a symbol of peace. Izuku and Ibara could only watch as Tamura's hand was about to touch Suyu, until Vaporeon. He poked his head out and Tamura saw him. Tamura. A catfish. He saw Vaporeon. Vaporeon used Hydro Pump on Tamura, moving him away from the boys. When the creature saw Tamura fly away, it went towards him and caught him. Tamura. Damn fish. He saw Izuku and Vaporeon. Izuku. Vaporeon. He saw it. We have to call the others. Vaporeon's sad face. He nodded and took a deep breath. Vaporeon. The scream echoed in the place. At the entrance. Uraraka. A Vaporeon scream. Confused. But then everyone saw Espeon, Eevee, and Leafeon running towards the stairs. Mine. Where are they going? In the fire zone. Ojiro and Flareon finished defeating the villains until they heard the scream. Ojiro. What was that? He saw Flareon running. Hey, where are you going? Confused. In the storm zone. Umbreon finished off the villains with a shadow ball, and then ran off under the watchful eyes of Kota and Tokiyami. In the snowy area, Glaceon ran at great speed. Bakugo and Kirishima were confused when they saw Jolteon running without stopping. Kaminari. Where is she going? She saw Sylveon running. Type. That scream must have been a call for them, he said. Back with Izuku and Vaporeon. Tamura. What was that? Confused. But then they heard something approaching at great speed. They looked to one side and saw Tamura. Dogs and cats with quirks. I never thought I'd see any. Kurogiri. Tamura Shigaraki. He was the cat who stopped me with a psychic power. Tamura. Was that him? He saw Espeon, then Vaporeon and Izuku. He told him to call for backup, so that's his quirk. He saw them line up next to Izuku. This is getting interesting. Izuku and the Eevees were seriously staring at Tamura, Kurogiri, and the Nomu. Izuku. Girls, get Aizawa out of here, she said. Abara and Tsuyu went towards Aizawa. Tamura. As if I were going to leave them, Nomu. The Nomu went after Abara and Tsuyu, but when it got close it was stopped by an invisible force. Tamura. What? He saw Espeon and Umbreon with their eyes glowing blue, psychic powers. Izuku. Fast. Both girls took Aizawa and went towards the entrance where the others were. Tamura. Okay, it looks like it's 1 against 10, he saw Izuku and the Eevees. A little unfair, but they still won't be able to defeat Nomu. Kill him, Nomu. The Nomu moved at great speed, stopping in front of Izuku, who was surprised. Izuku. That was fast. Asterisk. Just as the Nomu was about to attack, its arms were stopped by Sylveon using her ribbons. Eevee and Leafeon attacked with Iron Tail and Razor Leaf. Leafeon was able to cut off one of the Nomu's arms, but Eevee did nothing to it. Tamura. Do they seriously think they can defeat Nomu? It was created to be the anti-symbol of peace, the perfect weapon to kill All Might. Izuku. The weapon to kill All Might. I noticed something. Leafeon was able to cut off his arm, but Eevee didn't do anything to him. Then he saw that the Nomu had regenerated its arm, grabbed Sylveon by her ribbons and threw her at Izuku, who managed to catch her. Izuku. Regeneration. I see, it also has shock absorption. He stood up next to Sylveon. Tamura. They'll just be flies to Nomu, except their death. Izuku. The weapon to kill All Might. That's a shame. Tamura saw them were not All Might, Umbreon, Espeon, Psychic. Both of them used it, stopping Nomu instead. Izuku. Glaceon, Ice Ray. Glaceon used it by slowly freezing Nomu's body. Izuku. I haven't tried this yet, but I'll have to use it. Izuku ran towards the Nomu. Kurogiri. Tamura Shigaraki. Tamura. Yes, it seems I underestimated that brat. Ah. Both villains were attacked by Sylveon, who used Moon Force. Izuku climbed onto the Nomu's back and struck its brain, managing to drive his hand into its skull. The Nomu let out a scream, managed to break free from the psychic force in the ice, and then tried to get rid of Izuku. Tamura. Nomu, kill him already. Izuku. Glaceon, Ice Beam in your arms. The Nomu takes it and throws it. Glaceon did as requested and froze the Nomu's arms. Izuku. Eevee, Vaporeon, Shadow Ball. He said and they obeyed. Both Shadow Balls destroyed the Nomu's arms. Tamura. Do you think that's going to stop him? Nomu has regeneration. He saw Nomu, but it didn't regenerate its arms. Tamura. What? Wait. Kurogiri. When he pinned his hand to Nomu's brain. Izuku's sad face. He showed his hand, which was oozing a purple liquid, a poison-type attack. I call it pollution. Tamura. You affected its regeneration with the poison. Izuku. And if I'm not mistaken, it also has shock absorption, but if it's the weapon to kill All Might, it only absorbs shock from physical blows. Tamura looked surprised. We shouldn't use physical attacks then. Izuku. Leafeon, Sunny Day. Love. Leaf. She shouted towards the sky. Everyone in the place suddenly felt hotter. Tamura. What good will that do? Izuku. That helps us power up our fire attacks. Go Flareon. Flareon. Rian. I use Flamethrower against the Nomu. Izuku. Asterisk. I touch Flareon and it also launches a flame towards the Nomu. Let's go guys. Jolteon used Beam towards the Nomu. Everyone saw a green energy heading towards Leafeon. The Nomu fell even weaker because of it, as Leafeon used Giga Drain. Sylveon also attacked the Nomu with a captivating voice. Glaceon continued with Ice Beam, and Vaporeon attacked with Hydro Pump. Eevee touched Espeon and Espeon used Psycho Beam. Tamura and Kurogiri could only watch as Nomu was bombarded by the attacks. Kurogiri. Tamura Shigaraki, I don't think the Nomu can withstand those attacks anymore. Tamura. Tisk, kill that damn brat. They were both going to attack Izuku, but were pushed back by a punch and an explosion from Kirishima and Bakugo. Bakugo. No extras moving. I point at them with my hands. Izuku. Guys. He smiled as he continued attacking the Nomu. Kurogiri. Tamura Shigaraki, I think we'll have to retreat. Tamura. No. Not until we kill that brat and his dogs. Izuku and the Eevees stopped attacking. They saw the Nomu slowly getting up. Izuku. We need something strong to finish it. Eevee touched it. What's wrong? Eevee. Eevee. Izuku. Use that. We've barely practiced it. Eevee looked at him seriously. Okay. Everyone saw Izuku and the Eevees. 29 to 44 seconds. Everyone saw how the Eevee sent their energy to Izuku and Eevee. Izuku. Go, Eevee. Quickly, Eevee. Eevee. He climbed onto Izuku's head. They both created a great star of energy that went against the Nomu. Upon impact, it sent the Nomu flying through the skies until it was lost from sight and created a tremor in the place. Tokiyami. What was that? Ojiro. An earthquake. All they could see was the Nomu disappearing into the sky. At the entrance, Siro. That was a villain, wasn't it? Sato. SC. Shoji. This power, article. It belongs to Midoriya and the Eevees, she said happily. Tsuyu. Kiro smiled. Back with the others. Kirishima. What was that? It's like the strength of all 10 combined into a single attack, amazed. Bakugo. Tisk, what insane power they had hidden away. But they saw Izuku and the Eevee fall to the ground. Izuku. This is the first time we've done this, it used up a lot of energy. Tamura. Impossible, it was supposed to be the perfect weapon to kill All Might. You cheated. He saw Izuku and the Eevees. Izuku. You let that thing fight 1 against 10, he said wearily. You're the one who didn't plan your strategy well. Tamura. This is for Nomu. He ran towards Izuku. Kirishima. Midoriya. Izuku. I can't move, he's going to touch me. She saw him closer. Just as Tamura's hand was about to touch Izuku, the entrance door was destroyed and Tamura was shot in the hand, knocking him away from Izuku. Everyone looked towards the entrance and smiled when they saw the UA professors. There's nothing to fear anymore, because we're here. Nezu. Spread out and protect the students. At great speed, I removed Izuku and the Eevees from Tamura's path, and also landed a blow. Present Mike unleashed a sonic scream against the villains who were on the front stairs. Ectoplasm sent several of his clones against the villains. Tamura. Tisk, looks like it's game over. Kurogiri. Shall we go home and try again another day? He was shot several times by snipe. Kurogiri circled around him when he saw that. Tamura sad face, he saw Izuku, I'll kill him another day. Asterisk. Both disappeared from the scene. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Tamura. Those children were strong. You were wrong, teacher. A voice came from a television. No, I wasn't, it's just that we weren't prepared. Yes, we underestimated them. Of course we did it under the name, League of Villains. By the way, what about the joint creation of the Master and me, Nomu? Did you get it back? Kurogiri. It flew away. What? Kurogiri. More specifically, without coordinates. He said I couldn't find it, not even with my doors. After we made him as powerful as All Might. Well, I guess there's nothing we can do, what bad luck. Tamura. But it wasn't All Might who defeated him. What do you mean it wasn't All Might? Tamura. He was a damn kid. Kurogiri. His quirk was a sentient type. It gave him 9 dogs that seemed to master different elements, including the mind and darkness. Tamura. He poisoned Nomu's brain, preventing it from regenerating, and then attacked it with attacks that Nomu couldn't absorb. That brat. Question mark question mark question mark. 2. It's understandable that you're frustrated, but it wasn't a wasted effort. Gather the elite. Take all the time you need. Question mark question mark question mark. 2. We can't move freely, that's why we need a symbol like you, Tamura Shigaraki. Next time, you'll teach everyone to fear you. Question mark question mark question mark. 2. A conscious quirk, huh? How interesting. 4 weeks had passed since the USJ incident. Now everyone was in their classroom. Hagakure. Hey, did you see the news last night? Ojiro. Yes, he agreed. Hagakure. Did you see how everyone in the class was on the screen for a second? I wasn't on it, Shoji. It's true, Ojiro. It's unlikely they'll see you like that, isn't it? Kaminari. But all the channels made a big deal out of it. Kirishima. You surprise me. Sick. Can you blame them? The hero course, which didn't have many pro heroes, was attacked. Zero. Who knows what would have happened if the teachers hadn't arrived when they did, even so Midoriya and the Eevees helped a lot. Sato. It's true, they defeated several villains. Tokiyami. Yes, they are strong on their own, but together I'd say they're almost as strong as All Might. Article. That's right, everyone was amazing. Izuku. Huh, Iida. Everyone. Class is about to begin. Stop talking and take your seats. Kirishima. We're already seated. Kaminari. Even the Eevees are, you're the only one who isn't. He said. Iida sat down and Sylveon patted him on the head. Mine. Who? Suyu stopped him in his seat, will be our teacher today. Suyu. Well, Aizawa-sensei is supposed to be in the hospital recovering from his injuries. The door opened. Kiro. Aizawa. All. Aizawa-sensei returned very quickly. Kaminari. He's too professional. Iida. Sensei, are you feeling better now? Uraraka. Do you call that good? Aizawa. My health doesn't matter. He went to the desk. More importantly, the fight isn't over. Bakugo. Fight. Izuku. By chance. Article. More villains. Aizawa. The UA Sports Festival is coming soon. All. It's a supernormal school event. Kaminari. Wait. Sick. Is it okay to have a sports festival shortly after the villains infiltrated? Ojiro. What will happen if they attack us again? Aizawa. Apparently, they believe the UA's crisis management system is rock solid enough to handle the event. Security has also been increased fivefold compared to previous years. Aizawa. Above all, our sports festival is a great opportunity, it's not an event that will be cancelled by some villains. Aizawa. Our sports festival is one of the biggest events in Japan. In the past, the Olympics were called the sports festival, and the whole country was crazy about them. He said, as you know, with reductions in scale and population, they are now a shadow of their former glory. Aizawa. And now, Japan is hosting those Olympics, that's the UA. Sports Festival. Yaoyorozu. Of course, all the elite heroes in the country will be watching us, for recruitment purposes. Eevee. Eevee, amazed and being petted by Momo. Kaminari. After graduating, it's typical to join a professional agency as a fast partner. Sick. And many people lose their chance to become independent after that and become eternally stuck as partners. Kaminari. I have a feeling you'll be one of them. Because you're an idiot. Kaminari. Oh, Aizawa. Of course, joining a famous hero agency will give them more experience and popularity, time is limited. Aizawa. If you aspire to be a professional, this event will open the path to your future. 1 opportunity a year, a total of 3 opportunities. No aspiring hero can afford to miss this event. If you understand that, don't be lazy and get ready. All. And, at lunchtime, Kirishima. Even with everything that's happened, I'm totally excited. Zero. If we give a good presentation, we'll take the first step towards becoming professionals. Sato. It was great coming to UA. Tokiyami. We'll only get a few opportunities, we can't miss this one. Hagakure. Oh my god, I'm getting nervous. I must excel at the sports festival. Kaminari. You're so lucky, Shoji, your muscles speak for themselves. Shoji. There's no point if I can't show that I'm useful. Sick. I think you'll stand out too. I remember Kaminari in his goofy state, although if we're talking about standing out, Midoriya and the Eevees will. Izuku. What? Iida. That's right, if they recruit Midoriya they'll also recruit 9 other classmates. Izuku. I guess you have a point. Eevee climbed onto his head. Iida. Aren't you excited? We all signed up here to be heroes, so it's normal to be excited. Tsuyu. Iida. You have a unique way of getting excited, you're weird, hero. Iida. Midoriya. Eevees, don't you feel the same? Eevees. Eeveevolutivo, they agreed. Izuku. Of course, but something. Uraraka. Midoriya. Iida. Izuku. You Uraraka, your face. It's mine. What's wrong? You seem carefree, although that's what your name means. Uraraka. Everyone, I will do my best. Izuku. Mina, Iida y Tsuyu, and Uraraka. Everyone, I will do my best. All. SC. Kirishima. But what's happening? Your personality is out of place. Izuku, Iida, Uraraka, and Abara were walking through the hallways. Izuku had asked Uraraka why she wanted to be a hero, and they learned that she wanted to be one for money, but also to help her family. Ha ha. I found young Midoriya, he said, arriving with them. Izuku. All Might, what's going on? Lunch. Do you want to eat with me? Uraraka. How are you? Izuku. Okay, let's go guys. The Eevees followed him. Meanwhile, in the living room were Izuku and All Might in his slim form. First of all, I want to thank you and your classmates for helping at USJ, he saw it. Everyone told me how Eevee and the others helped the students. Izuku. It was nothing. And from what you told me, you faced that thing called Nomu. I give the Eevees some pastries. You said it was the perfect weapon to kill me, but you were able to defeat it. Izuku. He had shock absorption, so by not using attacks that required physical strength we were able to defeat him. I see. If I had faced that thing, I probably would have been seriously hurt. But anyway, I want to talk to you all about something very important. Izuku saw him. I want you to inherit my power. Izuku and the Eevees watched in shock. Izuku. Wait, inherit your power. Confused. The newspapers call it super strength and boost, and I constantly avoid the tough question in interviews with a funny joke. Because the symbol of peace, All Might, must be a naturally born hero. But young man, I'll tell you the truth, my quirk was passed down to me like a sacred torch. Izuku. Was it passed to you? That's right, and now it's your turn. Izuku. Wait a minute. It's true, your quirk is debated as one of the great mysteries of the world. Not a day goes by that I don't see someone talking about it online. He started muttering until Espeon slapped him with its tail. I've said a lot of things, but I'm not lying. The power to transfer power, that's the quirk I inherited. I was crowned, one for all. Izuku. One for all. That's right, one person cultivates power and passes it on to another, who also cultivates it and then passes it on. It's the crystallization of power that revolves around the voices of those who need help with a courageous heart. Izuku. Why would you give me something so amazing? I've been looking for a successor, and then I hear what they did at the USJ, I thought it would be okay if you hurt him. Izuku looked at him in amazement and still in shock. It's nothing. Well, it all depends on you, he saw it. I'll respect your decision, Izuku. It's really unexpected, I don't know what to say, could you think about it for a bit? Sure, he nodded. Oh, and good luck at the sports festival. With that, Izuku and the Eevees left. The day of the sports festival had arrived. Small p attention everyone, the UA sports festival is about to begin. In the waiting room of classroom 1A. Mine. Oh dear, I wanted to wear my suit, she said, wearing her sports uniform. Ojiro, to make everything fair, we can't use it, he said. Sato, I wonder what the first round will be like. Tokiyami, no matter what comes, we have no choice but to deal with it. Shoji, That's how it is. Iida, hey guys, are you ready? We're going in a bit. Todoroki Midoriya approached him. Izuku. Todoroki. What's happening? Everyone saw them. Todoroki. Looking at things objectively, I think I'm stronger than you, he said, looking at Izuku and the Eevees. I'm going to defeat you. Kaminari. Oh, is the top student in the class declaring war? Kirishima. Hey, hey, hey. Why are you looking for a fight so suddenly? Not now, we're about to start. Todoroki. We're not here to play at being friends, so what does it matter? She was about to leave, but... Izuku. Todoroki, I don't know what you're thinking when you say you're going to defeat us. The Eevees stood beside him, but I swear we'll give it our all. Eevees. Eevee Eon. At the stadium. P. Mike. Hey. Attention. Audience. The audience screamed excitedly. Crowd. Mass media. The teen rodeo of this school that everyone loves, the UA Sports Festival, is about to begin. Everybody, are you ready? It's time for the students to take the stage. After they introduced themselves to the classes. Midnight, that's time for the player's oath. Some men were mesmerized watching Midnight. Midnight silence, everyone. Representing the students of Class 1A, Izuku Midoriya. Izuku. Confused. Zero. Well, you were first in the exams. Izuku and the Eevee climbed onto the podium. Izuku. Well, then he heard some murmurs and glances directed at his companions. Izuku. Well, first I have to say that they are my quirk, she said, surprising some. They are not strange dogs. Midnight hugged Eevee. Izuku. I just have to say, everyone give it your all at this event. Plus Ultra. The Eevees launched some of their attacks, making a fireworks effect. Audience. Plus Ultra. Midnight, thank you for your words. Izuku and the Eevees returned to their places. Now, let's begin right now. The first game is what we call a knockout round. Midnight, every year, many drink their cheers here. Now, here is the fateful first game. A screen appeared behind her and showed a spinning roulette wheel. This year, it's this. The roulette wheel stopped. Obstacle course. Midnight, all 11 classes will participate in this race. Midnight, the main selling point of this school is freedom. As long as you stay on track, you can do whatever you want. Now, everyone to your places. All the students went to the starting line, waited for the countdown, and when the last light went out. Midnight. Start. Everyone started running. Small P. Alright, here's the narration. Are you ready, mummy man? He looked at Aizawa. Aizawa. You were the one who forced me to come. Small P. Let's begin, mummy man. What should we pay attention to in the early stages? Aizawa. At this moment. At the exit, everyone was squeezed together due to the limited space, until the ground froze. But then, Yaoyorozu. How naive, Todoroki. Bakugo. I won't let you escape so easily. You half-bastard. He propelled himself with his explosions. Todoroki. Apart from Class A, more people than I expected were able to avoid it. Then he looked to his right and noticed that Glaceon was approaching him at great speed. Todoroki. I didn't think she was so fast. Is it because of the ice? Asterisk. Then they both dodged a blow from a robot. Robot. Many targets located. Small P. Obstacles have appeared, starting with the first barrier. Kaminari. Aren't they the villains who get 0 points on the entrance exam? Todoroki. So this is what they used in the general entrance exam. Yaoyorozu. I wonder where they get the money for her. Todoroki. If they went through all this trouble, I wish they had prepared something better. A large amount of ice was sent against one of the 0 points, since my dad is watching. The giant robots were frozen, and Todoroki kept running. Students. He stopped them. Between his legs. We can pass. Todoroki. I wouldn't do it if I were you. I froze them when they were off balance. The robots started to fall. They're going to fall. Small P. Todoroki from Class A. He attacked and defended in one hit. Incredible. He's the first. He taps the table a little. It's, practically unfair. Aizawa. Their actions are logical and strategic. Small P. As expected from someone who got in through a recommendation. The robots began to approach the other students. Meanwhile, with Inko. Ink. Come on, You can do it. She saw her son and the Eevees on TV. Some, like Bakugo, Shiro, and Tokiyami, decided to go above the 0-point robots. But then everyone saw two large bursts of flame go towards one of the robot's arms that were blocking the path. Everyone saw that it was Izuku and Flareon. Izuku's sad face, stop like Flareon, quick attack. The 10 of them sped towards the melted area, managing to get past the robot's arm and keep running. Small p. Midoriya and the Eevees did a great job as a team. With the teachers, snipe. As expected, most of those who went ahead were from Class A. Those in Class B and the others aren't bad either, it's just that Aizawa, Class A, doesn't waste time. He saw some of his students destroying robots, those who experienced the world firsthand in the USJ incident. Mike. Hey, was the first barrier too easy? What about the second one? Mina, Uraraka, and Tsuyu stood before the great abyss. Small p. If you fall, you're out. If you don't want to fall, then crawl. It's the fall. Uraraka. When did they do this test? He saw Tsuyu. Kiro. Jumps and grabs the rope. Kiro, this tightrope is an exaggeration. Starts to move forward. Mine. It's fast. Then they saw a pink-haired girl from the support class pass by thanks to her inventions. Small p. They're all working hard for their chance, don't you think? Eraser head. Aizawa. Why are you stopping, idiots? Todoroki managed to cross the chasm. Small p. And now, the first one easily passes the test. Todoroki's sad face, he saw Bakugo flying behind him, he seems motivated. A slow start. Asterisk. Small p. The first one is far away, but everyone behind him is crammed together. They haven't announced how many people will qualify yet, so they can't relax. Go for it, Inc. Guys, he saw Izuku and the Eevees using psychic and other moves to cross the chasm. Todoroki arrived at the next test. Small p. And now, we've quickly reached the final obstacle. And it's actually a minefield. Small p. So you'll have to use your legs and eyes carefully. And by the way, those mines are for games, so they're not that powerful. But they're loud and flashy enough to make you wet your pants. Aizawa. That depends on the people. Izuku. As first place already there. Come on guys, hurry up. He said and the Eevees nodded. Todoroki. I see, this is an obstacle that puts those in the lead at a disadvantage. They're trying to make this entertaining, huh? Asterisk. Bakugo. This doesn't affect me. I reached Todoroki's side, damn it, don't declare war on the wrong person. Small p. We have a new leader in the race. Rejoice, members of the media. This is the kind of development you love. The audience cheered excitedly. Small p. Come on. The rest of the participants are speeding up. But, can the first group maintain their lead while pushing and shoving each other? He saw Bakugo and Todoroki fighting. Izuku. Luckily I took this, I take a big piece of the robot, help me guys. They and Izuku began gathering mines in one place. Sick sad face, he saw them, what are you doing? He continued walking. Izuku. That'll be enough, okay. Everyone held on to him, we'll take your idea, Bakugo. They jumped onto the mines with the plate they took from the robot beneath them. Then everyone saw a huge explosion. Small p. Was there a huge explosion back there? The students took cover, what is that force? Everyone saw Izuku and the Eevees take off. What? Small p. Was it a coincidence, or did they do it on purpose? Midoriya and the Eevees from Class A are advancing rapidly with that explosion. In fact, they've taken the lead. The audience cheers excitedly. Izuku. We flew as planned, but the force was too much. Sylveon used her ribbons to hold everyone securely. Bakugo. Deku, don't go ahead of me, he said, flying with his explosions. Todoroki's sad face, I create a path of ice, this will give the others away, but I shouldn't worry about those coming behind. Small p. Those who were previously in the lead stopped bothering each other and started chasing Midoriya. Now that a common enemy has appeared, they've stopped fighting. The battle is not over yet. Izuku's sad face, I noticed they were about to touch the ground, we won't let them pass now. The 10 pushed the metal plate against the mines, creating an explosion that stopped Todoroki and Bakugo, and propelled the 10 forward. Everyone watched as Izuku and Flareon began to be engulfed in flames. Vaporeon used Aqua Jet, while the others used Quick Attack. Small p. Midoriya and the Eevees blocked those behind them. Midoriya and Flareon transformed into wheels of fire. Vaporeon advances with its Aqua Jet move while the others run like bullets. Small p. Can you believe it? They cleared the minefield in an instant. Eraserhead, your class is amazing. What did you teach them? Aizawa. I didn't do anything, they lit themselves. Small p. On the freshman stage at the UA Sports Festival. Aizawa. Are you ignoring me? Small p. Who would have predicted this result at the start? Now, the first man to step onto the pitch. Izuku and the Eevees arrived undoing their movements. Small p. Izuku, Midoriya and the Eevees appear. The crowd roared with excitement. Ink. Gee guys. Crying with joy. Izuku. Did we do it? I smile, we did it. Eevees. Eevee Eon. They happily jumped on him. Bakugo. Again, shit. Todoroki just looked at Izuku and then left. Uraraka. Midoriya. I arrive next to Abara. Izuku. Girls, she stood up. Uraraka. You finished first, that was amazing. Article. Without a doubt, smiled. Izuku. Thank you, smiled. Midninth, the top 42 have advanced to the next round. It's a shame, but don't worry if you didn't make it. We've prepared other opportunities for you to shine. The real competition starts now. Midninth. All the press will be present. Give it your all. The roulette wheel started spinning. Now, here's the next game. I already know what it is, but what will it be? What will it be? As I said, here it is. The roulette wheel stopped. Cavalry battle. Midninth, a cavalry battle between the top 42 students. Those at the top will suffer the most. You'll hear this a lot when you go to UA. This is what plus ultra means. Midninth. Midoriya, Izuku and the Eevees, who came in first in the qualifier, are worth 10 million points. Then Izuku and his classmates felt everyone's eyes on them. Midninth. Now I'll explain the rules. The screen lit up. The time limit is 15 minutes. Each team is worth the total points of its members, and the riders will wear a headband with that number. The teams will try to capture the other team's flags before time runs out and will try to hold on to as many points as possible. Midninth. The stolen bands must be worn around the neck, so the more you steal, the harder they are to handle. He said, and most importantly, even if your band is stolen or your gear falls off, you're not out. Type. Which means, Sato. Since there are 42 of us, will there be 10 or 12 teams on the field at all times? Aoyama. It's hard. Mine. A strategy that allows someone to take your points first so you have more freedom. Suyu. It's hard to say without seeing how they'll end up distributing the points. Minakiro. Midninth. During the game, it will be a brutal battle where you can use your quirks, but it's still a battle of the cavalry. You'll get a red card for attacks that intentionally try to knock others down. You'll be removed immediately. Bakugo. Shit. Midninth. Now, you have 15 minutes to form your teams. Begin. Some already had their teams ready, but Izuku and his teammates, well. Izuku. Everyone's avoiding us, and Shiozaki already has a team. She saw Abara in the distance, you know. No one ever told me I had to use only one of you. She looked at the Eevees, but there will be 4 of us. And if we use all of them, we won't be able to move properly. Izuku. Then, he saw Todoroki's team. I know, he touched Jolteon and picked up Eevee. Eevee will be on the team. You guys go wait in the stands, okay. All. Eon. They nodded and left. Izuku. Okay, let's go find a team. Saw Eevee. 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 Smile. Izuku's sad face approached Ojiro. Ojiro. Ojiro, I'm sorry. Walked away. Izuku. As I thought, nobody wants to try to hold on to points throughout the game. A strategy to steal points at the end is better. Asterisk. Uraraka. Midoriya. Eevee. Let's team up. Izuku. Are you sure? Surely everyone's after us for the 10 million points. Uraraka. If we run away all the time, then we'll win, right? Izuku. I think you're overestimating us, Uraraka. Uraraka. As if I would. Anyway, it's better to team up with people you get along with. She said smiling. Izuku and Eevee smiled. They tried to recruit Iida, but he refused, seeing Izuku and the Eevees as rivals. Just as I thought. This is great. You stand out. All three of them saw it. Izuku. That's close. Who are you? Eevee jumped onto Uraraka's head in fright. Hatsume. I am Hatsume Mei, from the support course, introduced herself. Uraraka. Oh, that strange person from before. He remembered her in the second test. Hatsume. I don't know you, but let me use your position. Izuku. She is honest. Hatsume's sad face. He approached. If I team up with you, then I'll inevitably be part of the team that everyone will see more of, right? Hatsume. If that happens, then my super babies will inevitably be seen by big companies. In other words, that means those big companies will see my babies. Uraraka. Wait a minute, babies and big companies. What are you saying, Hatsume? And I think it will be beneficial for you, he said to Izuku. Uraraka. Huh, she's not paying attention to me. Asterisk. After Hatsume demonstrated several of her inventions, they went to find the last member of her team. Izuku. I know, approaches someone and grabs their shoulder. You. Time had run out. Midninth. Now, it's almost time to begin. Small P. Wake up, Eraser. He woke his friend. After 15 minutes to form teams and discuss their strategy, 12 cavalry teams line up on the field. Aizawa. There are some interesting teams. He saw the teams. Small P. Now, prepare for the battle tiers. It's time for the bloody battle of UA. Give the signal, audience. And, Izuku, Eevee, Uraraka, Hatsume y Tokiyami Esteban como equipo. Small P. Alright, you've made your teams, right? I won't ask if you're ready or not. Now, let's go. The countdown to the bloody battle royale. 3. Bakugo. Our goal is. Small P. Of the. Todoroki. Only one. Small P. 1. Eevee climbed onto Izuku's shoulder. Midninth. Let's start. Then several teams went against Izuku's team. Tetsu. It's basically a battle for 10 million. Hagakure. Haha, Midoriya, Eevee, I'll keep it. Tokiyami. An attack without delay, huh. The fate of the hunted. Uraraka. Destination. Tokiyami. Make your choice, Midoriya. Hatsume. Choice. Midoriya. Of course, our plan is to flee. Tetsu. I won't leave you. His teammate touched the ground, causing the area where Izuku and his team were standing to begin to sink. Uraraka. What is this? Izuku. Are we sinking? Uraraka. I can't go out. Izuku. Hatsume. Uraraka. Lower your heads. They did as asked. I activate Hatsume's rocket pack, causing his entire team to go flying. Tetsu. Did it fly? Thanks to the support course, huh? Follow them, he said to his team. Hagakure. Sick. I know. I stretch my jacks towards them, but Dark Shadow blocks them. Tokiyami. That's how it's done, Dark Shadow. Keep watching out for our blind spots. Dark Shadow. Understood. Izuku. That was incredible. The defense we were missing. You're the best for it with your omnidirectional mid-range defense. Amazing. Tokiyami. You were the one who chose me. Uraraka. We're landing, he said. They landed thanks to Hatsume's boots. Izuku. Make everyone lighter than Uraraka, so our weight would only be Uraraka plus her equipment and clothes. Hatsume. What do you think of my babies? Aren't they cute? He looked at Izuku. Beauty can be created, you know. Izuku. Excellent mobility. Your babies are amazing. Hatsume. True. Uraraka. It's because I'm making them float, she said softly. Small P. Now, even though only 2 minutes have passed since we started, it's already a free-for-all. Fights for the top spots are raging everywhere. Ignoring the 10 million points and going for second to fourth place isn't a bad idea either. When Izuku saw that they were about to be surrounded, he activated the rocket pack. But then he saw Bakugo approaching with his explosions. Bakugo. Don't get carried away. You damn nerd. Izuku. Eevee. Eevee jumped and managed to knock Bakugo's arm upwards, preventing the explosion from hitting them. Audience. Ooh, small p. Oh, he separated from his horses. Is that okay? Izuku. Speed. Eevee. Eevee. Bakugo covered himself in those stars, until Zero returned him with his tape. Kirishima. Great catch. Midninth. It's technical, so it's fine. But only if it doesn't touch the ground. Advertisement. Izuku and his team landed. Izuku. Well done, girls. Eevee landed on her shoulder and you too, Eevee. They kept running until they stopped when they saw Todoroki and his team. Mike. Now, only half the time remains. Izuku. It won't be easy, huh? Voa Todoroki. Todoroki. I'll keep them. Tokiyami. I thought we wouldn't have a confrontation until the end of the game. It seems they think about you a lot, Midoriya. Izuku. Only half the time remains. Keep moving. Todoroki. Go ahead, Iida. And, Todoroki. Yaoyorozu, prepare to protect us and conduct the electricity. Izuku heard that. Yaoyorozu. Yes, he said to create things. Todoroki. Fireplace, you. Kaminari. I know what I have to do. Make sure you secure it well. It began to expel electricity, indiscriminate shock. 1.4 million volts. Izuku. Tokiyami. Tokiyami. Dark Shadow, return. He did as requested. I hope you know what you're doing, Midoriya. Kaminari unleashed his electricity, electrocuting other nearby teams, and as he approached Izuku and his team. Izuku extended his hands. Todoroki's sad face. I noticed something in Izuku's hands. Ah. Yaoyorozu. He saw Izuku. Todoroki. If Glaceon runs faster in cold places. Iida. So, that ability belongs to Izuku. Did you notice? Jolteon's ability. Absorb electricity. He said, absorbing the electricity. Thanks for the charge, Kaminari. Kaminari. Damn it. Todoroki started creating ice. Izuku. Now, Eevee. Volt switch. I unleash electricity towards Todoroki's team. Everyone saw Todoroki create ice to shield himself from the electricity and freeze nearby teams, but they also saw Eevee surrounded by it, and that it extended towards the stands. Small p. What? He saw Eevee being switched out for Flareon. Midoriya switched Eevee for Flareon. How did he do that? They have a lot of tricks up their sleeves. Todoroki also froze the other nearby teams. Aizawa. I take advantage of Midoriya's attack as a distraction and thus freeze the other teams. Small p. Great comment. Gives a thumbs up. Then Todoroki stole the headbands from the frozen teams. Izuku's sad face saw the backpack rocket make smoke. Is the backpack working? Hatsume. Baby. There's room for improvement. Uraraka. Here they come. He saw Team Todoroki approaching. Izuku. Flareon. Flareon. Asterisk flaw asterisk. I release fire and Izuku touches it. Izuku. I prepared it especially for Todoroki. I also release fire. Everyone watched as the fire began to swirl around Izuku and his team. Aizawa. That is, small p. A fire tornado. Todoroki created ice around, trapping Izuku and his team. Small p. There's only 1 minute left. Team Midoriya is surrounded by a fire tornado. How will Team Todoroki get there? Iida. Guys, there's only 1 minute left. You won't be able to use me after this. I'm counting on you, Todoroki. Iida. Iida. Hold on tight. He got ready. Make sure you get it, Todoroki. The motors in his legs released fire over torsion. They went at great speed against Izuku and his team. Small p. What happened? That was fast. That was fast. Iida. If you could accelerate that much, you should have shown it in the preliminaries. Todoroki. What was that? He saw Iida. Iida. By forcing the increase in torque and rotation, I create explosive power. But with the recoil, my engine is temporarily useless. It's a secret move I haven't told anyone in the class. Iida. I told you, didn't I, Midoriya? He saw him, that I would challenge you. Izuku. That was impressive, Iida, but can you see well at that speed? What about your equipment? Izuku turned to look at them, and everyone noticed that he still had the 10 million headband. Todoroki. What? He saw the band he had taken and it said, 100 points. Kaminari. As Izuku. Note that Flareon took a band when it was traded for Eevee, so plan a distraction. Type sad face. She realized the fire tornado was to hide the band Flareon took. She approached at the last minute before we took the 10 million band. Small p. Incredible. Midoriya created a huge distraction to still keep the 10 million. The Eevees jumped for joy. Izuku. Flareon, flamethrower. Flareon. Flareon. Izuku also used it, making Todoroki create an ice wall to protect himself. Kaminari. Those flames are very powerful. He saw the ice begin to melt. Type. We can't get close if they keep this up. Todoroki. Tisk. I think more ice. Small p. Time is almost up. Start the countdown. Then Bakugo appeared with an explosion from one side of the ice wall. Bakugo. Damn Deku. Izuku. Tokiyami. Tokiyami. Dark Shadow. Dark Shadow. Yes, she said, standing in front of Bakugo. The entire audience was attentive until. Small p. Time's up. Everyone stopped. This is the end of the second round, the cavalry battle. The crowd cheered excitedly. Zero. Bakugo saw him on the ground. Kirishima. Are you okay? Bakugo sad face. I hit the ground. Todoroki. Damn it, he got off Iida and noticed small flames on his left arm. Tisk. P. Mike. Now, let's see the top 4 teams. He looked at the results. First place, Team Midoriya. Izuku. We did it. Uraraka. That was intense. Relieved sigh. Hatsume. With all this heat, I want something refreshing. Tokiyami nodded. Then the Eevees arrived and jumped on Izuku, happily knocking him down. Ink. Guys. Crying with joy. Small p. Second place, Team Todoroki. Type. Well, second place isn't bad. P. Mike. Third place, Team Bakugo. Zero. Well, it's not bad. Kirishima. Do you think he feels the same way? He saw Bakugo. Bakugo. Oh, small p. And as for the place, Team Tetsu, huh? Huh. Team Shinszo. When did you come from behind? Shinszo. Thank you for your work, he said to his team before leaving. Small p. These 4 teams will advance to the final round. After a short break, everyone returned to the stadium. And as many suspected, they would be one-on-one fights. Kirishima. In the final round of the tournament, we'll fight one-on-one, okay. I'll be standing on the stage I've always watched on TV every year. He said excitedly. Mine was there a tournament last year. Zero every year is different, but there's always a one-on-one competition. Last year, it was a Chanbara sports match. Midninth now, we'll draw lots to decide the pairings. Once the pairings are done, we'll have some recreational games and then we'll begin. Midninth the 16 finalists can decide whether or not to participate in the recreational events. I'm sure they want to rest to conserve their strength. But then some decided to withdraw, including Ojiro, so they put Tetsu and Shiozaki Ibara into the 16 finalists. And so the pairings began. Tetsu versus Kirishima. Both again. It's so annoying. Tokiyami versus Yaoyorozu. Tokiyami. I will do my best. Yaoyorozu. That's what I want. Ashido versus Aoyama. Aoyama. Thank you. It's a shame that I'm your opponent. Mine. You mean good luck. Izuku sad face. Wrong. With whom he was due. Shinszo. The first match of the first round. If Todoroki and I win, then we'll fight. Asterisk. Shinszo. It's you, isn't it? Midoriya. Izuku. Izuku turned around and saw him. I look forward to our first encounter. Izuku. IG. Ojiro covered his mouth with his tail. Ojiro. Midoriya. Shinszo smiled and left. Izuku. Ojiro. What's happening? He saw him. Ojiro didn't answer him. The Eevees were confused. Todoroki. It will be sooner than I expected. Looked at the screen. Bakugo. Uraraka. Uraraka. He. Scared. After watching the recreational matches and making sure the ring was ready. Smintos. Okay, it's ready. Small p. Thank you, Smintos. Hey everyone, are you ready? The crowd roared with excitement. A lot has happened, but now it comes down to this. A serious battle. You're on your own 2 feet. Even if you're not a hero, you'll face many situations like this. Small p. Starting with the first match. They say they're better together, but that doesn't mean they're not good apart. From Class 1A, Izuku Midoriya and Umbreon. Both entered the ring. Small P. Against you. Sorry. He hasn't done anything yet to stand out. General Studies, Shinszo Hitoshi. Shinszo entered the ring. The rules are simple. Push your opponent out of bounds or pin them. You can also win if you make your opponent say, I give up. Don't worry about injuries, because we have our recovery girl waiting in the wings. Small P. Put your morals and ethics aside for a moment. But of course, anything deadly is trash. It's not allowed. Heroes should only use their fists to stop villains. Smentos. I'll stop things if they go too far, he said. Midninth ready. Begin. Shinszo. 2 against 1. That's not fair. But I can't do anything if it's your quirk. Izuku and Umbreon started advancing. Tisk, did that guy tell him about my quirk? What's wrong? Aren't you talking? Umbreon lunged at Shinszo, who managed to dodge. Shinszo. Damn it. Izuku grabbed him by the shoulders and started pushing him. Is he trying to kick me out? As if I'd allow it. He punched Izuku in the face, but Izuku grabbed his face and headbutted him. Shinszo. Oh. Umbreon helped Izuku and together they managed to knock Shinszo out of the ring. Midninth. Shinszo is out of bounds. Midoriya and Umbreon advanced to the semifinals. Shinszo's sad face. She stood up and saw Izuku. He told you about my quirk, right? Izuku. Yes, but even if I had responded, I don't think it would have affected me. Shinszo saw it. Umbreon cannot be affected by psychic powers. By touching him I am also immune. Shinszo. How lucky. Izuku, I think your quirk is great, but I think you should practice some martial arts too, right? He saw Umbreon. Umbreon. Brian smiled and wagged his tail. Shinszo. A martial art? I think so. Small P. Thanks for waiting. Now these guys are up next. Announcement. He's good. Well, what's up, Plains of Steel? You just can't get rid of him. From the hero course, Zero Honda. Sero, that's cruel. Small P. Against the second place finisher in the preliminaries. You're really strong, kid. That wasn't a recommended admission for nothing. Also from the hero course, Todoroki Shoto. And now, the second match of the finals. Announcement ready. Begin. Zero. Well, I don't think I can win. At great speed, he fired his tapes at Todoroki, managing to tie him up. Zero. But I don't feel like I'll lose. I turned to take it out, but Todoroki created a mass of ice, leaving everyone in shock. Zero. No, did you go a little too far? He said, almost frozen. Midninth. Zero, can you move? She said, half frozen. Zero, of course not. Midninth. Zero is immobilized. Todoroki advances to the second round. Todoroki broke the frozen tapes and approached Zero. Todoroki, I'm sorry, I overdid it. He put his left hand on the ice and began to melt it. I was annoyed. The fighting continued. Next up was Kaminari vs. Abara. Izuku. Good luck, he said to Abara. Article. Thank you. I petted Leafeon and it left. Small P. The assassin of Class A. You know, cute things have thorns. From the hero course, Shiozaki Abara. Abara entered the ring vs. Brilliant Assassin Boy. From the hero course, Kaminari Denki. The crowd roared with excitement. Small P. Now, we'll have a big battle this time too. Article. Mike stopped. Excuse the interruption. What do you mean by murderer? I only came to win, not to take my opponent's life. Small P. I'm sorry. Article. First of all, I wanted to enter UA Academy not for evil reasons, but for the salvation of others. Small P. Like I said, I'm sorry. It was my mistake. Okay. Article. I appreciate your understanding, she said with a smile. Izuku. I wasn't expecting that. Hee, how cute. Smiles. Then I noticed the Eevees staring at him with a strange look. Izuku, why are you looking at me like that? Confused. Midninth ready. Begin. Kaminari expelled his electricity. Kaminari. Indiscriminate shock. 1.3 million volts. He launched his electricity towards Abara. Abara turned around and her hair grew, then went into the ground and formed a wall that shielded her from the electricity. Kaminari. He was stunned. More vines appeared beneath Kaminari, ensnaring him. Small P. It was decided in an instant. I'll say it again. In an instant, Midnight Shiozaki advances to the second round. The crowd cheered excitedly. Article O. I was able to use the opportunity they gave me. The fight between Iida and Hatsume was interesting in a way. Next up was Mina vs. Aoyama. Mina managed to win by making Aoyama fire his laser several times, causing him stomach pain. She then landed a powerful blow, knocking him out. Yaohara Yaoyorozu vs Tokiyami. Midnight. Start. Tokiyami. Vey, Dark Shadow. D. Shadow understood. It was against Yaoyorozu. Yaoyorozu created a shield, managing to cover herself. Yaoyorozu now. A weapon, but he blocked another blow from D. Shadow. I can't gather my thoughts. Asterisk. Another blow from D. Shadow managed to remove her shield. Yaoyorozu created another shield to protect herself from another blow that made her fall back. Seeing that D. Shadow stopped attacking, I created a metal bar, but Midnight Yaoyorozu. Out of bounds. Yaoyorozu. He saw that he was outside the ring. Midnight. Tokiyami avanza a la segunda ronda. D. Shadow returned to Tokiyami, who simply bowed and left. Small p. A crushing victory. A completely crushing victory. Izuku Tokiyami is amazing, he said, but then he noticed something. Where's Sylveon? He looked around. The others also noticed that Sylveon wasn't there. In the hallways, Yaoyorozu was walking sadly until she noticed Sylveon. Yaoyorozu. Sylveon. She approached him. What are you doing here? He watched as she stretched out her ribbons, where he noticed a small cake on them. Yaoyorozu. For me. Sylveon nodded. Oh, thank you. She took it and took a bite. It's delicious. Sylveon. Syl. He stretched out his ribbons and patted her on the head, then took her arm. Yaoyorozu's sad face. I smile. Thank you, I feel better now. Sylveon. Yaoyorozu, let's go back now before Midoriya gets worried about you. He started walking. A young Izuku and his classmates were arriving home after school. They went inside. Izuku took off his shoes while his companions cleaned their paws. Ink. Welcome, he saw them. Are you hungry? Lunch is ready. Izuku. Excellent. After lunch. Ink. That's right, Halloween is coming soon. Do you have your costumes ready? He looked at them. Izuku, I do, but I think they won't have any left. Ink. True, they've changed a lot and they've gotten bigger too, he said. I know, I'll make them some new costumes. Izuku. Really? Inko nodded. Ink. We're going to take their measurements. After everyone helped wash the dishes, they went to take the measurements of the Eevees. Halloween had arrived, and Izuku was already ready in his ghost costume. Ink. How lovely. I take a picture. Come on, let me see how they turned out, I said towards a door. First out came Eevee, who was wearing clothes similar to Death. Ink. How cute you are, Eevee. I take a picture. Eevee. Eevee. She wagged her tail with a smile and stood next to Izuku. Then Vaporeon and Flareon arrived. Vaporeon was dressed as a witch while Flareon was dressed as a vampire. Ink. AWW, I take a picture of them. How cute they are. Izuku. Oh, it looks great on you. I smile. They both smiled and stood next to Eevee. Jolteon. Joel. I arrive walking in a strange way. Izuku. Oh, zombie Jolteon. Cool, he said, looking at Jolteon. Ink. The hardest part was those nails. I'm glad they turned out well. Jolteon. Wow, he stood next to the others. Then they saw Umbreon arrive. He wore a hat and a monocle, as well as a black cape and carried a bat-shaped staff. Ink. An elegant gentleman of the night, he said looking at Umbreon. Izuku. Wow. Saw Umbreon, you look great. Umbreon smiled and stood next to the others. Then they saw Leafeon arrive. It looked like some kind of scarecrow. Izuku. Oh, a scarecrow, he saw Leafeon. Ink. Since she helps me in the garden, I thought that costume would suit her well. Smiles. Love Leaf. Wagging its tail. Ink. I'm glad you like it. Leafeon went with the others. I hopen. Espeon. She arrived and everyone saw her. Izuku. A queen. Saw Espeon. How beautiful. Espeon smiled and wagged its tail before joining the others. And finally Glaceon and Sylveon arrived. It seems Glaceon also dressed up as a witch, while Sylveon dressed up as a mummy. Ink. They're so cute. I'll take a picture of them. At the door, Inky know they'll only be going to houses in this neighborhood, but be careful, he saw them. Izuku, yes, everyone nodded. Ink, don't talk to or follow strangers, he said, then looked around at some heroes. It's reassuring to see heroes patrolling here. He sighed in relief. And remember, you must be here at 9:30, no more, no less, okay. Izuku, Eevee. See Eevee, Eon, they agreed. Ink, okay, be careful. He watched them leave, with Izuku and his classmates. They arrived at a house and rang the doorbell. Within seconds a woman dressed in Yukyu clothing opened the door. Women. Oh, she saw Izuku and the Eevees. All trick or treat, they raised their baskets. Women. But how sweet you all are. Here, she gave them sweets. Izuku, thank you. The Eevees nodded, and so they continued from house to house, receiving a good amount of sweets, although it could be said that the Eevees took advantage of their cuteness to get more sweets. With their baskets full, they returned home. Ink's sad face, she saw them come in. Wow, it looks like they got a lot of candy, she said, looking at the full baskets. They could last them until next year, hee. Izuku, I won this in a contest. I show a box containing an All Might figure. Ink, oh, really? He saw the figure. Izuku, it was about All Might stuff, he said with a smile. Ink's sad face, smiling, well, I see how you won, hee. Anyway, go change and take a bath before bed. He saw them go towards the bathroom. Ink's sad face, she saw the sweets in the baskets, they got a lot. She took them and put them away. I hope they don't eat them all in one day, they could give them cavities. The fights continued and continued, until it was Izuku versus Todoroki's turn. Izuku, Flareon, and Glaceon were walking through the hallways until they encountered Endeavor. Izuku. Endeavor. Oh, here you are. Izuku, what are you doing here? Endeavor, look at your fight. You have a wonderful quirk. He saw Flareon and Glaceon having 9 partners and controlling different elements. Izuku. Well, thanks, but we have to go, he continued walking followed by Flareon and Glaceon. Endeavor, my Shoto's duty is to surpass All Might. Izuku stopped, his fight against you will be a very instructive test. Don't show me a pathetic fight. Izuku. Endeavor, that's all I wanted to say. I apologize for bothering you before the confrontation. Izuku. It's obvious. Endeavor saw it. Todoroki isn't here, he said and left. Glaceon and Flareon stuck their tongues out at him, then followed Izuku. At the stadium. Small P, thank you for waiting, everyone. The crowd roared with excitement. The first match of the second round is a big one. Todoroki entered the arena, the man who literally froze the audience, from the hero course, Shoto Todoroki. Small P. From the other side. The Arsenal Kid. What kind of tricks will they show us this time? Izuku Midoriya along with Glaceon and Flareon. The 3 entered the ring. Article, so he'll use Glaceon and Flareon. Iida, how curious. They both control the same elements as Todoroki. Suyu. A battle of Kiro elements. Small P, now. Begin. Todoroki sent out a huge amount of ice, managing to hit Izuku and his classmates. Small P, Todoroki managed to trap them with his ice, but has he defeated them? But everyone saw something jump out of the ice towards Todoroki, and at the same time they saw a red light inside the ice. The ice broke, revealing Izuku next to Flareon, but Flareon glowed with the heat it emanated. Todoroki stepped aside, dodging Glaceon. Izuku, Glaceon, icy song. Glaceon. Glaw, jump. I'm not sure if that's the attack in the GIF. To be honest, it's the closest thing I could find, unlike the other attacks. Todoroki created an ice wall to protect himself, but had to create another ice wall to protect himself from a burst of flames sent by Izuku. Todoroki, this will be more complicated than I thought. Small P, in case you're wondering. Todoroki just needs to knock Midoriya out of the ring. It doesn't matter if Glaceon and Flareon are still conscious or in the ring, only Midoriya matters. Izuku, flare on. You stay back for now. She nodded. Izuku touched Glaceon and they both ran towards Todoroki. The most icy command towards them. Izuku, Shadow Ball. Glaceon stepped forward. Glaceon. Sion. The Shadow Ball destroyed the ice. Izuku jumped and went towards Todoroki preparing his fist. Everyone saw Izuku's fist become covered in ice. Then he punched Todoroki in the stomach, making him stumble back. But he created a wall of ice behind him, preventing him from leaving the ring. Todoroki. I send more ice. Izuku and Glaceon destroyed it. Todoroki went towards them and created an ice ramp, which was destroyed by Izuku and Glaceon, but Todoroki managed to jump towards them. They both dodged Todoroki's attack, which caused him to slam the ground into ice. Seeing that they had dodged, he sent more ice towards them, managing to trap Izuku's foot. Izuku. Good heavens. Glaceon. Blah. He strikes the ice with his tail, destroying it and freeing Izuku. Izuku, thank you, Glaceon. Todoroki, what are you doing? They both looked at him. It's obvious that Flareon is a better option to face me, but you're only using Glaceon and ice attacks. What are you plotting? He looked at them. Todoroki. I'm sorry, thanks to you all. That guy's face is clouded. He saw Endeavor in the distance. Let's finish this. I send a great wave of ice towards them. Izuku. Where are you looking? Todoroki. Oh. Izuku and Glaceon used Shadow Ball, shattering the ice and creating immense air pressure. This sent Todoroki flying backward, but Izuku created a wall of ice behind him, preventing him from leaving the ring. Todoroki, damned. They had so much hidden power. Why are they going so far? Izuku, you're trembling. Todoroki, he saw it. Quirks are physical abilities too. There's a limit to how much you can withstand, right? Isn't that something you can fix by using the heat from your left arm? Izuku, unlike you, I've trained with Glaceon to withstand the cold, he said. Everyone is fighting with everything they've got. If you won't use your fire side, why should I use Flareon? You want to become number one with only half your power. Todoroki, Midoriya. What are you planning? Did my father pay you to do this? Todoroki. Now I'm angry. He ran towards him. Izuku. His movements are slow. He saw him. Todoroki. He won't be able to attack in time if I'm nearby, but I noticed something. Glaceon leapt towards him, forcing him to dodge, but Izuku punched him in the stomach, knocking him back. Small p, he got him. Finally, we have a direct hit. Izuku, didn't forget that I'm not alone, he said to Todoroki, who stood up. Todoroki. Why? I'm sending more ice. Izuku *, the speed of the ice has decreased, he thought, dodging the ice, but then he saw Todoroki approaching. Glaceon headbutted Todoroki in the stomach, sending him flying. Izuku, there's no way I can know your circumstances, but to become number one without giving it your all, just to reject your father, right now I think you should stop playing dumb. He punched him in the chest, and then Glaceon hit him with his tail. Todoroki. It's good that you become what you want to be. Those were the words of Todoroki's mother that echoed in his head. And then, a burst of fire appeared from Todoroki. Izuku smiled. Todoroki, I want to be a hero too. Endeavor. Shoto. Small p. Huh, Endeavor. You finally accepted yourself. That's it. Good. Here it all begins for you. He said as he went down the stairs and approached the arena. With my blood, you will surpass, you will fulfill my desire. Then a jet of water hit him. Those in class saw Vaporeon. Vaporeon sticks out tongue. Small p, did Endeavor suddenly shout, cheer up. What a loving father, although it looks like he got wet. Todoroki, why are you smiling? In this situation, you're crazy. Don't blame me for what happens. Izuku, Flareon, Glaceon. They stood beside him. Let's give it our all too. He placed his hands on them. Glaceon and Flareon began creating a lot of ice and fire, and Izuku did too. Smintos, Midnight. If they keep this up, it's going to get out of control. She said using her quirk. Midnight tore part of his suit, releasing his smoke. They all saw how they sent a huge amount of ice to then prepare their flames. When the ice crashed, Izuku and his companions jumped towards Todoroki, preparing their attacks. Todoroki. Midoriya, thank you. Both unleashed their flames, walls made of cement appeared, but Midnight was sent flying by the enormous explosion. Kaminari. Oh really? Yaoyorozu. What happened? A huge fog formed in the ring. Smintos, just because something is powerful doesn't mean it's good, but it's incredible. Small p, what was that? She said, upside down on the chair. What's wrong with your class? Aizawa, the air suddenly cooled and heated up, expanding. Small p, did that cause the explosion? How hot was that? Damn, I can't see anything. Hey, who won the match? Midninth. Ouch, she got up in pain. The fog began to dissipate, revealing Izuku and Todoroki. Then everyone saw Todoroki outside the arena and embedded in the wall of the stands, knocked out. Midninth Todoroki is out of bounds and everyone saw Izuku knocked out, being held back by Flareon and Glaceon, who used their bodies to prevent Izuku from leaving the ring. Midninth, those are some real teammates. Smiling, Todoroki is out of bounds. Izuku, Glaceon, and Flareon are the winners. Glaceon and Flareon collapsed, exhausted, upon hearing that. The crowd roared with excitement. Ink. Guys. Crying with joy, the other Eevees went to help them. Small P. Izuku Midoriya, along with Glaceon and Flareon, advanced to the third round. With the arena now repaired, the next fight began, which was the one between Iida and Obara Shiozaki. The winner was Iida, who went at high speed behind the girl and pushed her to the edge of the arena. Then came the Tokiyami vs Ashido match. Ashido tried to melt Dark Shadow with her acid, but he dodged it until he gave her a push, managing to get her out of the arena. Then came Bakugo vs Kirishima. Kirishima hardened his body and went to attack Bakugo, who dodged him while remaining on the defensive. Everything was seen by Izuku, who was a little higher up than where Class A was. Izuku, you've never seen Bakugo so defensive. Iida Midoriya, arriving with him, it seems you've made a full recovery. Izuku, yes, and congratulations on making it to the semifinals, he said. Iida, it means we'll both fight. He looked at the screen. I want you to know that I don't plan to give up without a fight. Izuku. I hope so, smiles. But then they saw Bakugo launch several explosions at Kirishima, who was covering himself, and then they saw him launch another, larger explosion, knocking Kirishima unconscious. Midninth Kirishima is out of the fight. Bakugo wins. Advertisement. Small P. With that massive barrage, Bakugo advances to the third round. And that shows the final four. Iida, okay, let's go. Izuku nodded. Small P. The first semifinal match. From the hero course, Tenya Iida. Iida entered the arena versus. Also from the hero course, Izuku Midoriya and Jolteon. Izuku entered the arena. Midninth, let's begin. Iida started running while dodging beams sent by Izuku and Jolteon. Small P.O. Iida is circling Midoriya and Jolteon. He said upon seeing Iida running around them. Jolteon started running to try and catch him. Iida. Now reciprocal. Burts. Asterisk. He went in the direction of Izuku and threw a kick that Izuku barely dodged. Iida. I have 10 seconds before my engines stop. I have to win in that time. Asterisk. He spun around and kicked Izuku in the torso again. Small P. A direct hit. Everyone saw Izuku on the ground. Zero I landed a hard hit. Kaminari, that kick was so fast. Then Iida grabbed Izuku by the shirt and ran towards the edge of the field to pull him out. Iida, I have 8 seconds left. I can do it. I thought while running, I'll throw it out of bounds like. But then they saw Iida being electrocuted. Iida. Ah. Izuku, remember that I'm using electric attacks, it's not a good idea to get too close. Everyone saw Jolteon jump and then unleash a powerful beam near Iida, creating an explosion that sent him flying out of the arena. Midninth Iida is out of bounds. Midoriya and Jolteon win. Advertisement. The next match was Bakugo vs. Tokiyami. Bakugo was winning because Dark Shadow had a weakness to the light from Bakugo's explosions. By unleashing a massive explosion, Bakugo managed to immobilize Tokiyami, forcing him to surrender. Midninth. Tokiyami está inmovilizado. Bakugo gana. Small P. The final will be Midoriya vs Bakugo. The crowd cheered excitedly. Small P. We've finally reached the final battle of the UA Sports Festival. The crowd roared with excitement. The best freshman will be decided in this showdown. The so-called final showdown. Small P. From the hero course, Izuku Midoriya and Vaporeon. Against. Also from the hero course, Katsuki Bakugo. Midninth. Start. Bakugo, wait. Everyone saw him. I want all the Eevees to come and fight too. Midninth. Well, we didn't say I couldn't use everyone. Looked at Izuku. Izuku sad face. He saw Bakugo. Okay. He whistled and all the Eevees went with him. Midninth, remember, you only need to bring out Midoriya to win. Bakugo nodded. Begin. He charged at him with an explosion. Vaporeon stepped in front and launched a jet of water. Bakugo dodged it by sending an explosion downwards. With the explosion, he managed to get behind Izuku and then hit him with another powerful explosion that sent him flying. Izuku he was caught by Sylveon's ribbons. Thank you. Sylveon. I lower it. Bakugo, I hate to say it, but if they really got stronger, attack me with everything you've got. With that attack against that Nomu. Izuku. So, we're betting everything on one attack. Everyone saw the Eevees begin to glow and send energy towards Izuku. Fire, ice, lightning, and other elements began to emerge from Izuku's hands. Bakugo unleashed a downward explosion to propel himself upwards, then began creating many more explosions which caused him to spin. Izuku and the Eevees launched their attacks and Bakugo howitzer impact. He unleashed a huge explosion. Everyone saw how a huge explosion was created when the attacks collided. The two attacks collided, creating a large cloud of smoke. Small p, it seems they both went all in on a single attack. But who will be the winner? Everyone was watching to see who would appear on the sand still standing. As the smoke began to clear, they could see the Eevees outside the arena, unconscious, and Izuku buried under some rubble, still in the arena. Then they noticed Bakugo unconscious on some rubble, and outside the arena. Midninth Bakugo is out of bounds. That means Midoriya and the Eevees win. The crowd roars with excitement. Small p, and with that, all events are complete. The winner of this year's UA Sports Festival is Izuku, Midoriya and the Eevees. Inc. Guys, crying with joy. Now everyone was at the medal ceremony. Midninth, and now, let's begin the awards ceremony. A platform appeared from the ground, revealing Izuku, Bakugo, and Tokiyami on the first, second, and third place podiums. Midninth. Now, we'll hand out the medals. And who's handing them out this year? Of course, had to be this guy. Ha ha ha, everyone heard that laugh and was thrilled. Midninth, I'm here to hand out medals. Our hero All Might, lands. Midninth, very well. All Might, please hand out the medals starting with third place. I take out the medals. My young Tokiyami, congratulations, he placed the medal on him. You are very strong. Tokiyami, I appreciate your words. Mhowever, to be able to fight well against different types, you shouldn't rely solely on your quirk, he said, giving him a hug and pats on the back. If you train to improve your own strength, you'll have more options to fight. Tokiyami, yes, sir. He saw his medal. My young Bakugo, congratulations. He placed the medal on him. You've demonstrated a powerful quirk, but that doesn't mean you can't improve in other areas. Keep striving. Bakugo's sad face saw her medal. Yes. My young Midoriya, Eevees, congratulations on first place. He placed the medal on Izuku. I see you're a great team. I expect amazing things from all of you. Izuku. Yes, sir. He smiled and the Eevees happily climbed on top of him. Well, they were the winners this time. But listen, any one of you could have ended up on the podium. Just like you saw, competing, improving, and climbing higher and higher. The next generation of heroes is definitely emerging. So I only have one thing to say. Everyone say it with me. Ready. Public, good job. Plus ultra, all. Public, you should have said, plus ultra, All Might. Well, I think everyone did a good job. To be continued. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and make sure to like and please hype this video. Now we will see you in the next video.